Hey there, friendlies. How's up? Welcome to the 23rd of December episode of my fantabulous live stream. This is, as always, the Bevies, Blades, and Bushcraft live stream where we got bevies, we got some blades, and today we're actually going to talk about something bushcraft related. As you may have seen by the thumbnail and the notice and the this and the that, we're having another interview. Very excited about that. I'm thinking some of you will know him from several episodes of the Joe Robinette Bushcraft series show here on YouTube. Others may have seen his work on Instagram. I have an Instagram link just below for those of you who may be curious. And he's been a long-term friend to this channel and to my whiskey channel. He does occasionally appear on a whiskey tasting panel that I really have to get going again. I have some ideas about that, but I haven't spoken to him about it yet. So without further ado, give it up, I guess, for Mr. Mike Morton. Hi, Mike.
How's it going? Good. How you doing?
All is well here. All is well here. Hoping everyone can hear everything. I can hear you. You can hear me. So the two important people can hear. So yeah, the reason I wanted to have you on is because it is winter camping time, and you're one of the two, maybe three sort of dedicated winter campers that I know. We've talked about winter camping before. You had given me advice about how to get sort of equipped when I'm in that kind of position. And you've been on to talk about winter camping before, but that was like what, 2022?
Yeah, I can't even remember. I was on at least once, maybe twice. Once with Kevin and
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
Pine Martin. I can't remember.
It was a long time ago. It was sort of before my my series went into hiatus. Now it's back, and I'm starting off strong, I feel. Last time I had Dennis from Canoe Hound, and now you, and I'm working on a few other people, and yeah, I'm loving it. So I'm just going to take a look at what people are saying. Okay, so far it's just a bunch of people saying hello. I am going to add a ticker that if at any point tonight you have a question for Mike about winter camping, please start with question in all caps so that I will notice it, or Mike will notice it, or whatever. It will get noticed in however it happens, and then that question will get answered. If you don't start it off with the question in all caps, no guarantees. You plays your cards, you takes your chances. Let's just sort of say hi to everyone who's popped in. Canadian was in real early. Then we had Christy Grounds, who's a channel hero. Christy says, looking forward to seeing Mike on this live. I've seen him on Joe's channel a lot. Hello, everyone, and happy Tuesday. Yes, Christy, he has been on Joe's channel a lot. We got Grace Martin popping in. Nice to see you, Grace. Sorry. There's Mr. Bluegrass Bigfoot again. How are you doing? That new name of yours still sort of throws me, but thanks for tossing us a Christmas tree there. Bluegrass Bigfoot is a channel hero. Oh, by the way, his name is Mark. Jim is asking if his thumbs up is the only one. I see two, but as you guys know, it's not live. So if you have not yet thumbs upped, you know it's going to be great. We got Mike here. We got me here. We got all you guys chatting on the side. Do us all a favor, will you? Marcus popping in to say hi. How you doing, Marcus? And we're just going to sort of skip on down a little bit because I feel that we should get... I'm just popping on down. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anyone with the hellos and all that stuff. We got Paul popping in. Bonsoir to everyone. How are you doing tonight, Paul? Actually, there we go. Okay, so I've caught up. I have said hi to all who are here. And no, I haven't. What the hell? Peanut Truckers here. The YouTube page and my app are not in sync. But okay, whatever. If you're here, hi. Now it's time to get into our conversation with Mr. Mike so that he's not sitting there, like, when's he going to stop saying hi to everybody? So I guess we should sort of start easy. Last time we spoke about winter camping was, I think, like two, maybe 3 years ago. So have you updated your stuff since then?
No, I don't think I've really updated much. I'm still using the same snow checker tent. Actually, the one change, me and my brother bought it together, but we had at the time we bought a smaller than sort of recommended size stove. So we have the 9 by 11.5, and it was recommended to get, I guess, the medium size stove. I forget all the names and everything, but medium size stove, 9 by 11.5 snow checker. So that's like 104 and a half square feet. The 10 by 10, interestingly enough, recommend using the small stove. So our thought was, let's save 5 or 6, 7 pounds, and 4.5 square feet is kind of nothing. It it's done okay for the 5 or 6 years we've had it. But the issue we've had is it's a 3-inch pipe, so like there's a gap that we never got around to fixing at the exit of the tent. So like there's heat bleeding out. It doesn't hold the heat as well. Smaller stove. Anyways, we found a screaming deal on the bigger size um, last like March. So we haven't used it yet. Actually, we're taking it to my dad's in a few days to do the first burn outside at Christmas, just to get all the
Little
oil and
burn-in?
junk off. So we're looking forward to seeing how that works out. It honestly did the job fine down to -30, -40 Celsius. It's just you had to have good wood, and you had to be constantly feeding it, and you were riding waves of like rocking hot to, ooh, all of a sudden it's like 5 degrees in here. So it was a lot of maintenance. It's okay, but we're hoping the bigger stove will. I mean, that's what it was designed for. So hopefully it works a little bit better.
So when you say that the other stove had, what you said, it was a 3-inch pipe?
Yeah, I think it's
So
two
the
inch coming out, but it's at
okay.
the tip is like 3 inches instead of 5. So it's quite a difference in airflow.
Okay, that was gonna be
Yeah.
my question, like the medium-sized stove or whatever's the upsized, it has the larger pipe. Like
Larger pipe, yeah, and it's about an inch bigger in kind of every direction. So you can
okay.
get a little bit longer wood and a little bit taller. Usually a little more real estate for putting pots. The small size, like
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
two big pots, they were spilling over the edges. Um, so that'd be interesting to see how that works out for us. But
That sounds
my
good.
principles have not particularly changed for that style of travel. Like, which that style of travel, I mean, like traditional sort of like toboggan sled, lake and wood travel in northern Ontario, deep cold, generally not worrying about rain or, +0 temperatures, maybe the odd time. We're trying to avoid it, right? The colder the better.
Yeah. What I like of it, I like hearing that you've changed almost nothing except there was the stove that was kinda had to be changed. The reason I like hearing that is 'cause, I'm just so tired of, like, on YouTube and especially TikTok, it turns into just people buying stuff all the time, right?
Yeah.
"I tried this stove for 2 months and it doesn't work for me," so I'm like, What? Use it for a year, Holmes."
Yeah.
Like, everything I it's the same thing in, like, on TikTok, I'm hooked into, like, journaling and fountain pens, and it's just, like, every 2 episodes, someone says, like, "Here's my latest haul." And I'm like, "Okay, but show me you using this stuff," you
Yeah.
know? And so the fact that you haven't changed your stuff in the past 2 or 3 years, aside from that one thing, is cool to me because it means that you buy the stuff and you use the stuff. You're not depending on, eh, dollar inputs to, get more exciting stuff all the time. I like that. Speaking of exciting stuff, as several of you know, 10 o'clock is whiskey time around here, and this is my Christmas malt for this year. This is the single malts of Scotland. It's not focusing. There we goes. Single malts of Scotland. That's a Letchick 13, um, finished aged in a sherry butt. It's delicious. It's smoky. But underneath that, it's got kind of a fruitcake element.
Is it
Um,
easy to get a hold of?
oh hell no! I bought it in Alberta
Yeah.
like 3 years ago.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So you're just teasing us
I I can send you a sample. You know.
then.
In fact, it's a funny story. My fiddler and I bought bottles together at the Kensington
Mhm.
Wine Market in Calgary yeah, like 2 or 3 years ago, and decided we're gonna open it together on a night when we've both got time and we can FaceTime. And then 3 years went by because we're both very busy. And so when I decided that that was going to be my Christmas malt for this year, we're like, tonight, FaceTime, and we did. And I'm glad we did because it's a very nice bottle. Do you have
Yeah,
something to
sometimes you
show?
just got to put a deadline on it.
You
Just
just
do
got to
it.
put a deadline on, and then it's like, okay, it's got to happen. You have a bottle to show off there for tonight?
Yeah, this is one that you had recommended to me. Whiskey
Yeah,
from the Barrel,
that's the one.
Japanese whiskey. It's quite
Yep,
good. Quite good.
love that. I know Christy's gonna have a whiskey with us. Christy, what are you having tonight? Um, while Christy is, Christy's already asked you a question. I was going to have a bit of a convo before getting to the question, but Christy's got her Evan Williams. Oh yeah, and so tonight, to celebrate the fact that it is the Christmas holidays, I'm actually going to start with a beer for the first time in months. This is an Irish red. This is still not focusing because going to start with an Irish red. Oh no, it's a bière forte. It's 5.6%. Oh well. Hey, Beto's here. How you doing? And then I'm going to move at 10 o'clock to the whiskey. So I don't know, Mike. You want to hear the first question, or do you want me to? Let's hear the question, just because I don't want it
Yeah.
to get lost.
Yeah, let's do it.
And it's a question that I was going to ask you anyway. So Christy asked, "What has been your worst experience winter camping, and what has been your best?" You can narrow it down. Okay, so she knows that sometimes, the pinnacle question is kind of tough, but.
Okay, we'll start with the best. I'll put that in two parts. My favorite part is typically like when you're all set up and you get like a very, very cold night. It's like -40, -30, and like there's no wind. It's dead calm. Like assuming that you're warm and comfortable, you almost like hear your heart beating, and like it's just that feeling. It's like you're in the middle of nowhere, and like it may sound kind of funny, but like death is all around you. Like at that -40 temperature, this tent burns down. It's like you're walking in circles until you hope that your Garmin works, that someone can come rescue you. So like, don't make that a scary thing, but it's just that feeling of like this is the beauty is there. Not many people will go do it. And then like if my best actual moment, the last 4 or 5 years, we've been doing these bud car trips. Which, if anyone knows, the Bud car is a train. They were designed like the 1950s as like a spur train, so they're not meant to be big or long distance train. They're meant to operate spur lines. It's American. It's BUDD, not like Budweiser. Anyways, there's one that operates from Sudbury in Ontario to White River, um, which is like a bunch northwest of Sault Ste. Marie. Anyways, the train takes about, I guess, about 12 hours, 10, 12 hours to cross all that distance, and almost all of it is like wilderness, um, lakes, trees, and so they'll just stop the train for you wherever you want. You pay your ticket to like the next stop, and then anywhere before that you can get off. So you don't even have to pre-plan it. You just show up with your stuff, and like there's like three people working on the train, and like the engineer comes back and helps you load your stuff, and you like I have a map, and it's like here. But funny enough, the guy always asks me like, "Oh, what mile marker?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Where can I get that info?" And he's like, "I don't know," because like they don't publish that stuff. But anyway, so like that's what we've been doing. So the first time we did it, it's like the train stops, like there's like 20 or 30 people on it. It's not a busy train and it's not expensive. It's like $75 return trip to go the whole way. So yeah, the train stops, you get your stuff out, and everyone's like, "Well, look at these idiots. Like we're literally in the middle of nowhere. We picked a spot on the map, which like I haven't been there before. Who knows the last time anyone was there, because like some of these are canoe routes, but a lot of them are just dead end lakes or like not. So you're like, okay, can I get off of the train here? Sure, they can kick me out, but is there like a good spot to go? Is it slushy? Is the ice frozen? Generally, we go that far north, it's not a concern. But yeah, so the first time, like people are like, "What are you guys doing?" And so like they throw all your stuff out, you jump out, and then like they're on a schedule, like they're gone. So then the train leaves, and then 2 or 3 minutes later, it's like dead quiet, and you're like, okay, well, I guess we're here. And that train doesn't run like 5 times a day. It only runs every other day. So like on Mondays they're closed, so there's no train running. Tuesday it heads northwest. Wednesday it comes back. So like when you get dropped off, like you're there for at least 24 hours, and there's no one coming. So yeah, that was just very interesting. First one I did was with my brother and my buddy Adam, and yeah, I've done it about 4 times now. We're doing the fifth one in about a month. It's just one of the hardest parts about winter camping is like finding a parking spot. It sounds trivial, but a lot of these like bush roads that you would want to start on, they're not plowed, or if they are, you can't just park on the side of the road because you'd be plowed in. So you could maybe spend a whole day shoveling, or like anywhere you go where there's good parking, people with snowmobiles are there. So that's a curse and a blessing. The snowmobile tracks are great for running distances, but then you have snowmobiles and people fishing everywhere. So
But
yeah,
like
that's great. Worst,
taking this train, you kind of don't have to worry about that, right?
yeah, that's exactly it. You park your train at the station in Sudbury, and it costs you like we usually get off somewhere in the middle. So it costs you like 40 or 50 bucks, and um, yeah, the concern is I guess I'll parlay that into the worst. Like we've never really had anything bad happen. I do have
Wait, wait,
one.
wait,
Go
wait.
ahead.
I've got a question that's burning in my head right now. So you get dumped off this train in the middle of nowhere. How do you let them know you want to be picked up? Because I mean, it takes the train a while to stop. So if you're just standing there waving,
I tell them a day and a time. Well, I tell them the day. They know the time. It's on
yeah,
a set schedule, so I know I got to be. And usually, we've typically been going back to the exact same spot,
okay,
and it's like you don't want to be late because they'll stop, they'll blow their horn, they might wait for you 5 or 10 minutes, but they're not waiting a half hour.
I got
So
it.
if and like I said, if they leave you, you're not stuck one day, you're stuck two, right?
Right.
Because it's not just unless you want to go like if you're really desperate, you get on the train and you head to White River, get a hotel for the night, and come back. But like if you want to go home and not spend like $200 on a probably not great hotel room and
Yeah.
eat bar food, then you're stuck for 2 nights. So we always plan for 2 extra nights. And then if you're not careful and the day you miss your trip is Saturday, well, the train doesn't run on Monday. So now you're stuck 3 nights.
Oh yeah.
So we
Holy
always
smokes.
sort of, I usually plan not to get picked up on the Sunday because that just is extra. So like we'll parlay that into like the worst. And so like last year, I went with my wife's brother, and he's an ice fisherman, so he has like ice fishing gear. Great guy, very easy to do stuff with. He's never been backcountry camping, period. Like
Oh,
not in a canoe, not hiking, not in the winter. So the whole trip went great, no problem. Like we've been planning it for like 8 months. He bought what I told him to buy. He like we worked all the way through it. We get back to the train tracks, and we're there early because we didn't want to be late. The last night we were camped within a kilometer. The day before we packed down a trail, and then that way it's an easy walk out. So we were there about 2.5 hours early.
yep.
It wasn't that cold, but it was -10. It was kind of windy. So if you're standing around doing nothing, and like the last morning you're kind of anxious to get out, maybe you're not eating properly, so
Right.
like you're cold because you're not fueled and you're just standing around. Well, the train was late.
Oh,
Um, so we ended up standing beside the tracks for about 6 hours.
oh,
And
that's
like,
late. Holy sh
yeah, so it was 3 hours late, which is like not terrible. When they picked us up, they said, "Well, yesterday we were 8 hours late." Like, because
Oh, man,
well,
okay.
there's one track, right? So if like a pole goes down or like a tree goes down, it's like they gotta wait to fix it. Or the train gets derailed, or it could just not come. Like that's a possibility.
And there's no way for
So we
them to let
always go out. No, then they won't let you know. If there's a real emergency situation, they could send somebody like they have those Ford F-350s or whatever with
yeah, that on the
the
tracks?
train setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can. I've heard of that happening before. The first time I actually heard of this was from Dave Hadfield. There was a camping symposium that happened at Waterloo University, University of Waterloo. for about 3 or 4 years. And the first time he he did it, he has been doing it for decades. So like I stole the idea straight from him. He did a presentation, and it was like November, and me and my brother and Adam were like trying to figure out where to go. We've been going for a bunch of years, and we wanted to kind of step it up. And he did this whole presentation on it. He's got a YouTube channel. He's the brother of astronaut Mark Hadfield.
Yep.
Very knowledgeable guy. Anyway, so we got the idea from him, and like it's spectacular. Um, yeah, so that was there was nothing really wrong. We just paced to kind of keep warm, but like it was a little bit of like a taste of what could happen. The other situation we had one time was with my brother and Adam. We were just somewhere in Muskoka, and we were probably 5 kilometers from the car. But it was like 10 p.m. and we were making chicken adobo in like this huge cast iron pan,
Yeah.
and like it had kind of gotten close to the top, like all the oil and everything. And Adam went to flip it, and like some oil like spilled on the wood stove. Boom! Like flash fire for like probably 2 or 3 seconds. It felt like 2 or 3 minutes, but it was just this 4 foot jump of flame, just immediate, and then it just died right down.
Mm-hmm.
We took the thing out. It was just kind of like, oh, that could have been like the bad moment right there. And it was like what are you wearing? What do you have access to? How do you get out of this tent? There's only one door.
Right. And if the fire's right next to it, because even slashing through the side of a tent like that is going to take time, right? You can't just
and like I'm not one of those guys that like
swashbuckling.
Always. Yeah. And like I usually have a pocket knife on me, but like I don't always have them. Like it's night, I'm sitting there chilling. I don't have my belt knife like on me all the time. So it was kind of like a reminder to like, okay, maybe some of the stuff, not everything has to be inside the tent.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of stuff out there. In that scenario, it's like 10 p.m. We put on our stuff. We put the tail between our legs, and walk the 5K back to the car. And you know what? Whatever. It sucks. But like that's a scenario if you're waiting for the train or like. And I know some guys. They invited me to go on this trip. Ken Jones and like what the guy of John from Whiskey Jack, who created a lot of the like sleds and stuff I use. They're going to Wabakimi this year.
Oh, wow.
And like that's a train ride too. They're going from Toronto. It's overnight, and it's like a lot further. And I wanted to go. It was just I have work, and like it was just scheduled didn't work out this year. But I think it's becoming more popular.
It feels that way, but I'm always aware that I might live in an echo chamber, right? So like, wow, everyone's doing it, and just outside the echo chamber, everyone's like, no, we're not, dude. I just wanted to say hi to Rob and to Curmudgeon, Rob and Sarah. Thanks for popping in. He wanted to say hi to you and me, and a couple of other peeps have popped in. There's Mr. Tenenbaum, friend to the channel, great guy. I've actually met him in person. I have not met very many of y'all in person, but I've met a few of you, and we spent a really nice afternoon in Ottawa. Interesting guy. He knows a lot of stuff, and very knowledgeable about the stuff we tend to talk about. I don't know if Tenenbaum's gone winter camping though. He does know a bit about canoeing though as well. We got Susie Q popping in to say happy Christmas to everyone. And back to you, Susie. I hope you're doing well tonight. I hope you're not too cold. I hope everyone's not too cold. We got Mr. Off-Grid Recon popping in. How are you doing tonight? I hope you are feeling well and the weather's not kicking your ass. David the Instigator, another one who I have met in person. Used to have an active channel. Kind of wish he still did. And Curmudgeon saying anytime. He always enjoys topping when you have the chance. I love seeing your name pop up. That one's interesting because Curmudgeon, how did you like the first time Rob popped in? It's like almost everyone in the side chat knew him, and I didn't that first time. Like I it must have been from maybe Russell's channel or something. Off-Grid says weather is wet but too warm for snow. Oh, you're in Oregon, yes, right? Okay. But yeah, I was just, making sure that I said hi to everyone popping in. I don't like to ignore anyone. But if I've missed anyone, oh, Beto, did I say hi to you, Beto? How are things down in Brazil tonight? Okay, curmudgeon through Russell and Sean. Oh, look at this, Mike. Tenenbaum says, my only winter camping was unintentional. Algonquin cart in September, October, it drops below freezing. Fair enough. Fair enough.
The water's still wet. I just call that cold camping.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, curmudgeon. Oh, wow. They are 275 away from 60K. Anyone who's not subbed, go and do it. So yeah, Mike, we were talking about, okay, so you got stuck waiting for a train for 6 hours. You had a flash fire that fortunately stayed a flash. I think I'm just sort of rethinking because like a question popped up way before I was ready for it, and it sort of turned into some of the stuff I wanted to ask you has already been asked. So I'm resetting myself here. Look, if somebody was going to get started on winter camping, okay? And I'm going to follow this up with questions about your kit. But if someone is going to get started, they've decided, my New Year's resolution for 2026 is to spend a crap ton of money on stuff and go winter camping like that. They need a tent, right?
Yep.
They need a winter sleeping bag.
Yep.
Right. And that's, you once told me you had bought a new one. Was yours a Mavericks? What's it called?
Mountain Equipment Co-op.
Oh, yours was a Mountain Equipment Co-op. Okay.
No, the one I have right now is a Marmot.
Marmot. That's what I'm asking about. Okay. Yeah. Big money though, right? When you've got something that'll keep you warm down to -40.
Yes. So when I started doing winter camping about 10 years ago, for like a year and a half, I just asked anyone to give me gift cards at Mountain Equipment Co-op. I'm going to buy a sleeping bag. And they had one at the time. It was called like the Thor something or other -30, and it was like $540. So I bought it, and they have a great return policy. So I bought it and used it for a night or two, and it was like tight on the shoulders. I'm about 6 feet, and like I'm not like super wide shoulders, but like I just felt like I side sleep. So I'm going back and forth. The whole thing is getting all twisted up. So I took it back, and I was looking for something a little bit bigger. And this Marmot, it's called a Coom, CWM. Coom is the, like, if you have two peaks, the saddle between them, that's called a Coom. Anyways, so it's a like 800 fill down -40 sleeping bag. At the time, it was $1,000 Canadian, and let's say about 10 years ago. It was on sale for $700. So at the time, I was like, okay, I can get -10 more. It wasn't really any heavier, maybe 100 grams heavier, and it was like 3 inches wider.
Yeah.
So it kind of seems to fill all those, and I've used it ever since. And like I'm super happy with it. I've used it to -40, and I've been happy. And like that's, if you're talking about money, that's one of the things I wouldn't skimp on. You definitely don't need to spend $1,000. Although these days, like that sleeping bag's probably way more than $1,000.
Yeah.
But like I will have that. So I'm 41, coming up on 42 in about 6 months. Short of an accident, maybe with like chicken adobo on a stove, or losing it, or having it stolen, like I will not need another sleeping bag. Like that one will last me. It's not like I'm going 100 nights a year. I go
Right.
on like a couple trips. I'm maybe doing like 10 nights a year, if I'm kind of lucky. So like that, I saved up and it was worth it. Before that, you can use two sleeping bags too. If you have like a -10, but like that, sometimes you have issues where like, again, like you're crushing it down on one or two of them.
Mm-hmm.
I skipped for a bunch of years, and like I had nights where I was like cold, like freezing, didn't sleep, shivering, and I would have paid the $700 to be warm like for that night.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
like when you experience that, $700 may seem like a lot of money. And that's Canadian, and it is. It still is. But like, if you're gonna go do it well. And that okay. So there's like last year, my brother-in-law bought, and Adam has the same sleeping bag. A lot of guys buy this one. A lot of people buy this one. It's not. I think it's Mountain Hardware, Lamina minus 29 or something. It's a synthetic bag, so it is a little bit heavier. It's maybe a couple pounds heavier, but like they go on sale for like $300, like today. It's like a $450 sleeping bag that you can get for like 300. And like Adam's been very happy with his at temperatures below minus 30. Is his 7 pounds instead of my 4.5 or 5? Sure, but like I don't know, we're bringing 100 pounds worth of crap, so you could find 2 pounds somewhere else. And that works. So like when I say don't skimp on a sleeping bag, I mean like don't buy like something that's not from a reputable brand, and like what is under you, in my opinion, is equally as important as what you're sleeping in. If you're sleeping in a minus 40 bag, you're crushing all the down underneath of you. And if you're in a summer rated um, sleeping pad, that you're just going to suck the heat right out of you for the bottom. So that's one thing. Definitely, sleeping pad and sleeping bag. Do not scrimp on your sleep system, because like that's sort of your safety net, as
Hmm.
well as like if your tent goes down, it's like this is what you got. The
So
tent,
okay.
I would say. Sorry, go ahead.
So like sleeping bag and inflatable under mattress under crust.
I have a combination of three that I use. So I have a Thermarest X Therm.
I have that too.
And
Great,
again,
great.
it's like $300, but I've had it almost 8 or 9 years, and it's light. You could use that for canoe trips. It's not much lighter than my other one. I unfortunately bought the X Lite first, and I could have probably just gotten away with the one and just carried the extra 150 grams.
Right.
And then I have a Thermarest Z Rest, so it like
Mhm.
folds up like an accordion, and it's closed
Right.
cell foam, like it looks like an egg carton.
Is it
That's
reflectable
very light.
outside or is it the other one?
Yeah, it's yellow and then silver. They do make like a brown or
Hmm.
some kind of olive green version. I don't know if the silver really makes a difference or not. I'm sure it does mathematically, but I don't know. I think they're the same price, so you might as well get the silver. But yeah, so then I'll do both of those, and then um, I also use Reflectix. It's like home insulation. It's essentially bubble wrap that has aluminum foil on both sides of it.
Hmm.
It has like an R value of 1. So like so my Thermarest is old, and its R value is like 5.7. There's a ton of them that are much higher.
Yeah.
So that's why I use 2 or 3. And it also gives me, if my sleeping pad pops, I still have something to sleep on. So I won't typically use all 3 unless it's like minus 40 type stuff, where I know I'm starting to push the bag.
Here's a question. If you're sleeping in a canvas tent with a stove, why do you need a minus 40 bag?
2 reasons. One, what if you burn the tent down? I always go whatever it's going to be rated to. Always go with that. If you got to sleep with the thing open, you're not going to be upset about it. But number two is like maybe things will be a little bit different with a better stove. But these stoves do not hold heat. They are
Right. And if it
pretty
burns down at 4 in the morning, you're going to be cooked.
well, but like at 4 in the it's not burning down at 4 in the morning. Like if you go to bed at 10, it's not making midnight.
Yeah.
Like if you put a rager in there, and let's say it's minus 40, by 1 a.m. it's probably like ambient in the tent. It's thin gauge sheet metal.
Yeah.
It doesn't hold the heat like a typical wood stove, and you can only get so much in there. So like some people will stay up all night. I just don't want to get up every 2 hours. Like it's just not. I'm not that interested. If you get enough guys in the tent, some people get up anyways to go pee,
Yeah.
and they'll throw one in. I know, like Camper Christina, she brings like those compressed logs. I've heard her mention that a few times, and I think they burn a fair bit longer. Like maybe make it 3 or 4 hours out of them instead of 2.
Hmm.
Um, So there's many different ways to do it. You should always be prepared. Again, like you're assuming that you're gonna find good wood, um,
Yeah.
and you're in like kind of I'm not gonna say untouched forest, but like untouched in the last century. So like you feel like you're gonna have no problem, but sometimes you just have rough luck, or you get there and it's like dark and you're like trying to struggle to get it and you just can't get it
Mhm.
lit. And I would always recommend if it's going to be minus whatever, if it's going to be minus 40, don't go out with a minus 10 bag, just hoping that you're going to keep warm
Yeah, yeah,
by
right.
the
Of
stove
course.
because that could fail. Then that will not be a fun night.
And so then sleeping bag, sleeping pads, stove, obviously one that's big enough for the tent. Um, canvas tent, something reputable, I imagine. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I would just get a snow checker. I know some of the Esker ones, it's a Canadian company, and I think that they're decent. I've not really used them. They're a little more finicky to set up with the half wall and kind of semi freestanding. Almost anyone that tries to do the hot tent cheaper, like buying stuff like One Tigress or any of these Chinese companies, or like tries to make their own, or like a cheaper
Mhm.
canvas one, they almost if they stick with it, they all end up buying a snow checker anyways. So like if you need to do something else to get going, that's fine. But like if you can afford it, just get the snow checker, get the Nyko stove. If you're in Canada, the Esker stoves are made by Nyko. So like just buy those ones so you don't
Good
have
to
to
know.
worry about like potential duties and stuff. But like it's not cheap. Or you can marketplace, you might be able to find something. And me and my brothers, we've had it about 8 years, I guess. It was $2,600 back then,
Mm.
taxes and everything in. So we split it, so $1,300 each. But it's like well, this is something we wanted to do, so like just buy once, cry once.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and that's the
a
thing,
lot of the stuff.
because then you're outside the the whole the circle of poverty, right? You buy the
Mhm.
boots you can afford, but then you just end up buying new boots again next year. And so if you've bought $50 boots 5 years in a row instead of $500 boots once, well, you're still
Yeah.
spending another $50 on the sixth year and then the seventh year, and maybe those
Yeah.
500 boots would have lasted you 10 years,
Hmm.
right? So I mean,
Yeah.
that's why I love the concept of buy once, cry once. You just maybe have to save up for a long freaking time to get it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I said, you check marketplace, although like they don't come up that often. So like I don't think there's necessarily screaming deals to be had.
Mhm.
But or you can cold camp. Has done that before too. Tarps or summer tents or whatever while you're trying to get it together. But if you're gonna spend, let's say, a good snow checker setup is gonna cost you like 3 grand, and you're gonna buy something for like 1,200 or $1,500.
Mhm.
That's where I'm saying like just wait and do the 3 grand. If you can
Yeah.
figure something out for 400 or 500 bucks that's gonna work for you, then like that's not a problem. It just if you're gonna spend $1,500 when $2,500 could have got you the best in the world, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like just
Yeah.
do that because you're eventually gonna want to do it anyways, and then you spend $1,500. I know winter camping is just expensive. All
Period.
this stuff is expensive. Like the sled system that I have is made by Whiskey Jack, which is like one of the best you can get. It has like beautiful runners, and it has like a packaging system that all gets tied down. I have photos on my Instagram of it. It's very slick. Lure of the North makes similar kind of setups, but
Uh,
like there are places where it doesn't. Sorry, go ahead.
does Lure of the North still make? Because I wanted one of their Mucklucks kits, and it sounded like they were not making anymore, so that they could go and do adventuring.
The original Lure of the North people run the like tripping side,
Yeah.
and there's like Lure of the North Outfitters now, which is owned
Okay.
by another family that they know, and they do the Anoraks and the Mucklucks and all that kind
Oh.
of stuff.
Oh.
Gloves. So that's all still gone. They make snowshoes, which like I want a pair of those real bad that have the monoline as
See, if
opposed to
I'd
the
known that
beviche.
they were back in business, I would have adjusted my Christmas list.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't looked recently. I don't know like what they have or not, but like I know
Mhm.
that they have been back for a few years doing that. So someone else is running it. but it's all
Right.
the same material and designs and oversight.
Right.
So I wouldn't hesitate that at all.
Okay. I have a question for you here from Christy. She says, "I'm a total
Yeah.
foodie. Do you have a meal you tend to bring every time winter camping?" Which is
Yes.
chicken steak.
So typically for lunches, I bring boring stuff. We're either on the move or we're gone out like snowshoeing or cross country skiing. So like just canoe trip type stuff, meat, cheese, crackers, maybe like a little ramen pack or something to get some salt and heat in you. For dinner, night one, almost always steak and baked potatoes. You can throw the potatoes underneath the stove, like kind of like a couple hours before you're ready to eat. And then, yeah, just do the steak right on top of the stove in a frying pan. The other thing, you can bring freeze dried, but like it saves weight. But again, you have so much weight. If you're not going very far, we do fresh, like we try to. The other one that works really, really well is if you get like fresh pasta, like tortellinis or something, beef or cheese or whatever, then you bring fresh pasta sauce. Like that works great. Hamburgers work great. Like you have, it's minus at least 10, 20 out, so you can freeze the meat. Like frozen stuff stays frozen.
Right.
So anything meat, you can figure out. Breakfast, favorite one for us is we just get like bagels, like big bagels, those thin sausages, like some cheese and some egg or whatever, and just create like a huge, massive kind of egg, bacon, whatever sausage sandwich.
Like a breakfast sandwich.
You want, yeah, so like in that way you have one big meal in the beginning and then you're good till like 8 or 9 p.m. Like you want lots of fat out there.
Lots of
That's what
protein.
your body burns, keeps you warm.
Yeah.
Like you got to eat. You just are unbeknownst burning crazy amounts of calories. Like last year when my brother-in-law came, the first day we get there, and like it's like a 3-hour operation to set up camp. So when you get there, you set up the tent. That doesn't take very long, but I use bough floors, so like in Crown Land in Canada, you're able to cut down parts of trees and like don't cut down an entire tree, but if you take 10 little branches off of one tree, there's just trillions of trees. You just do from a bunch, scatter around the area, and you create an interlocked bough floor. But like that takes a lot of work, and then you have to find wood. So like yeah, after dinner it was like 8:30. He was like, Mike, he's like, I'm embarrassed to tell you how tired I am. He's like, I need to go to bed, and he just like
Mhm.
laid down and just instant snoring. So um, yeah, it's a lot of work. So like you need the calories in the food. So like the fresh food is like a really good reward at the end of the day,
Yeah.
and you could do whatever you want. It's just like the steak. First night steak is like the classic, maybe with like a bottle of wine or something, and then yeah, after that, hamburgers is good. We did chicken adobo that one time. It was good. Other
Yeah. One
than
time we
nearly
almost
burning
burnt
the tent
yourself out.
down. The pasta is a classic one because it's so easy. You just
Mhm.
get just boil the water, and there's we tend to save that one for the last night because once the water is poured, it's kind of all starchy, and then you throw the sauce in there, and the pot is just an absolute disaster, right? Instead of worrying about cleaning it, it's like, okay, make sure you have enough water for today, water for tomorrow to get back to the train, and it's just like, all right, put the pot out, let it freeze, and that's a problem for when I get home.
Right. Right. Um, okay. So if we're still, I have a question here from David, which I'm just going to hold on to because your list of stuff, right? Reputable
Hmm.
tent, reputable stove, reputable, expensive ass sleeping bag because you want to be warm no matter what, right?
Yeah.
With some under padding. Now you said you do a bow floor, so there's nothing you're going to buy for under there. Is there something that you put under the stove though?
Yeah, so the stove came with they call it like a hearth.
Yeah.
It's some kind of melt-proof fabric. It's bigger than the bottom of the stove. It's probably like maybe triple the area, so it kind of like covers an entire area, and that way, if embers and stuff are falling, they fall on that. They're not going to
The
light
asbestos.
the floor on fire. They're not going to like. Yeah, they would have been asbestos at one point in time.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's not now.
Yeah.
And it also comes with a second reflector, which is the exact same size as the bottom of the stove, and it goes underneath of it. And there's little in the legs, like if this is the leg, there's like a little runner that's open in the
Yeah.
metal so that you can put Like I have a little coat hanger that you can put through both ends, so it like sits up a little bit,
Okay.
and that reflects the heat back up at the stove. Like that's where you can throw your potatoes, or like you could bake bread or whatever down there if you want. It's just that's a lot of work. And then some people use tarps and stuff. I haven't done that very much. It's certainly way less work. If you're moving every day, that's probably
Mm-hmm.
preferable. If you got 3 or 4 guys though, bows doesn't have to take forever. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll just do bows for like the seating area,
Mm-hmm.
and then where we're going to be sleeping, we'll put no bows to save like half of the area, just because like then you don't have to worry about it. You have all the insulation underneath you. You just sleep on the snow. You put like a little tarp down underneath you. The one thing that I have changed, you asked in the beginning, is sometimes I do bring a bivy this time.
Okay.
So when you have your stack, it's like Reflectix, Zrest, Thermarest, sleeping bag. It's this huge pile, and if you get like my tent can fit 3 people, but if you have the sleep setups where you're going to sleep, you can't sit 3 people comfortably, so you got to like pile that stuff at the back. So I bought a bivy a few years ago, and I actually had to get it modified because most of the bivvies, for some reason, the zipper only goes down to like your
Halfway.
chest.
Yeah.
So it's like you're trying to get in and out of that thing. So I had to pick a seamstress, and the zippers go all the way almost to the feet.
Okay.
And that way I leave the top off, but I can put all my stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the middle of the night, it won't shuffle left or right. It keeps the water off of me, and it keeps the condensation on the side of the tent. Canvas breathes very well, but you still do get condensation, especially when the fire goes out and you don't have that driving force.
Yep.
So then when you have it's time to sit, I can just zip it up and pick it up like a big burrito, and then just launch the whole thing at the back of the tent. And I don't have to worry about like all my stuff getting lost. I can zip in like my sleeping gear and long underwear, and then or I could even take it right out of the tent and pack everything up outside. Or if I want to take it outside to let it air out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been pretty nice. I don't always do that, but typically if we're going to be moving, I will. And it's a nice little feature just to make life a little bit easier.
Because I was gonna ask, you said you've got like these 3 sleeping pads that you pile up, and like, how do you keep it from like slipping off of each? Like, do you just not move at night? But if you're packed into a bivy, then I guess I can see that because you use it
The
even when
bivy helps. It's not really too big of a deal. I don't know. They just seem to have enough friction that it hasn't been a total problem. The
Okay.
Zrest is quite grippy. It's like a really grippy foam, so it seems to hold together okay. And the
Okay.
bivy makes a big difference.
Nice. So that's your sleep setup, your shelter. I guess gonna need some. I mean, you're gonna need some sort of pans or pots, right? Preferably
Yeah,
something fairly light. Um,
yeah,
uh,
frying pan for sure, because that's how
yeah.
you do moisture cooking, and then like a big pot for boiling water. I sometimes I'll bring a little tea kettle. I don't drink coffee or even tea hardly, but like it boils water the quickest if you're going
Mhm.
to do a dehydrated meal. Or like sometimes I'll make um, like they make apple cider packages.
Yeah.
Like after you're in for the day and you're done and you're sitting and it's like not quite dinner time, it's like make apple cider and you throw like some maple whiskey in there or Fireball or something or whatever. So sometimes I have a little kettle
Mhm.
that I bring, but yeah, generally a big pot, and we'll split the stuff up. Like one big pot can 4 liters of water. You spend so much time melting snow or boiling water. Like if you're not boiling water, you should be.
Yeah,
When you're
that
gone for the
pot's like always on the
day.
go, I take it, right? Uh-oh, Mike's frozen. While we wait for Mike to unfreeze, I just want to say hi to, I think Marcel joined us. Hi, Marcel. Curmudgeon says, I've not found a set of boots that last me longer than a year except the new bunny boots. Yeah, no, I was just pulling that as an example out of the ether. And he's back.
Look, did you lose me?
Yep.
Oh,
Lost you with at the, oh yeah. So yeah, I had said, so you've always got that pot on the go with melting snow and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if we're leaving for the day, we'll just fill it, um, and the stove's kind of going out, but at least it might be half
Pretty much.
water when you get back, even if it doesn't boil.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Tools. Do you use different tools at all in the winter than when you're summer camping?
Yes, and like so, my opinion on like summer camping axes has changed. That's obviously one of the most important things. In the dead of summer, I bring like if there's a group of us, we bring like one just in case it's wet and we got to split it. I used to take a lot bigger axes, like a small forest axe or something, but I was rarely using it or just using it because I had it.
Mm-hmm.
I have two here actually. So this is um, large forest axe or whatever, Scandinavian forest axe. This is
Yeah.
what I used for years. I got this for my 30th birthday for my family. It's still
Mm-hmm.
actually pretty oily. So it's like a 25-inch handle. It's just this is one of their classic ones. It's fairly skinny profile, if you guys can see that. So for years, this is what I used. It's good.
All right,
It's
my
not the
camera's off,
greatest.
but I'm still here.
Yeah, not the greatest for splitting. So like, there's a Ray Mears version, which like I was on a titanium forever, but it's a little bit shorter.
Oh, I
If you
remember
guys
when
can
you
see
got
it.
that.
Hold on, let me try and hold them up. So it's a little bit. Oh my goodness. So it's a little bit shorter, as you can see. Nope, you can't. Wrong side. So you can see it's shorter, not by a lot, but those 3 or 4 inches makes a big difference because most of the time when you're splitting, you're on your knees to try and do it safely, and the 3 inches longer is just constantly hitting you in the crotch or stomach or whatever. And then if you look at the end, you can see this is the Ray Mears one. Look how much fatter that is. I'm not going to take the masks off, but especially here. So this is much better at splitting than this one, especially for if you're using larger stuff.
That one
Um,
almost looks like a Wetterlings. I noticed, like, because I have the Wetterlings large forest axe,
yeah,
um, and I noticed that, like, I've got a few Wetterlings and a few Gransfors, and it seems that the Wetterlings are always just a little more wedge shaped. So I'm
yeah,
wondering
and
if,
like
Gransfors took over the Wetterlings foundry, right? So I'm wondering if the Ramiers are made at that one.
it definitely could be. You can see the difference
Yeah.
back here,
Oh yeah.
and I know I've had it for like 8 or 9 years. It's hard to get a hold of, and they're very expensive. There's lots of other options. Adam brings. He has a Grand Force. I don't know if it's a small. I think it's a small splitting axe. So it's even significantly wedgier because we're not really using it. We bring a saw.
Mm-hmm.
I usually bring a silky saw, or like I have a like Adirondack style like wood saw. Adventure Sworn. That's the one that I have. Had that
Mm-hmm.
forever. Silky works great. So we're not really using it for much other than like limbing and splitting. So like his splitting axe works better than this for splitting. So he often
Right.
brings that. And we just if we have 4 guys, we don't need 4 axes. It's just unnecessary weight. You know, how
Right.
many are you gonna break or lose? So why bring two? Everyone brings a
Nope.
saw because they're light,
Everyone.
and then
Okay.
everybody can go grab wood and drag it back, and then a couple people will saw the wood, and then 1 or 2 people will do all the splitting and then stacking, and it's a pretty good combo. So like those are the two that I bring. Sometimes I bring the Scandinavian forest axe just because it was my first Grand Forest and I like it.
Right. So this is my small forest axe. So that Ray Mears is what, that long?
No, so that one's the Ramirez is that much shorter than the Scandinavian forest
Than the
axe.
Scandinavian forest axe. Okay.
So I
So
think it's like the Scandinavian forest axe is 25.
and
That
this is
one's 19.
yeah. So
And the
this
Ramirez is like 22. So it's like dead in the middle.
okay.
But it has a 2.5 pound head,
Oh, okay.
whereas like that one's like 1.5. So it's like it's substantial. It's like and for some reason it has a I don't know the butt here is also different shaped. I don't really find that makes I don't know. Yeah, it was designed for like boreal forest winter usage. So like
Hmm.
literally as fit for purpose. It's still enough to do splitting or whatever, but it splits better. And yeah, I don't know. It was one of those things I definitely didn't need, but like I've been waiting for years, and it just showed up to buy it, and I was like, all right, I'm doing it.
It's expensive though, because didn't you have to buy it from the UK? or were
Yeah, it's
they
only
from? Yeah,
that's the only place you can buy them. But when you didn't used to have to pay taxes and stuff though. It was like probably $300. Yeah,
yeah.
but they're all crazy expensive now.
No, I was about to say that where the prices on the ground source have gone in the past decade is I cannot justify. I think I have always wanted the hunting axe,
Yeah,
but there's no way I cannot
I haven't
justify.
bought one. This is the last one I bought, and it was 8 years ago. So for
Yeah,
the first one I got for my birthday, it was a Scandinavian Forest Axe. It was $129
yeah.
in 2014. And then I have a small forest axe and an outdoors axe. This one, I do actually have like the splitting maul, but I found it on Marketplace. Some guy had over his fireplace or something. I got it for like $80.
Oh wow.
And the only time I've ever really used it was when I was demoing my kitchen. I was using it as a sledgehammer.
Okay.
But
David says it's 10 o'clock. It's whiskey time, so I'm popping my cap. I just wanted to say, okay, here's a question here for you from David. Have you tried one of those inflatable tents, either summer or winter camping?
I've not. Someone sent me actually one of the inflatable ones recently, and I just wondered. Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like I'm not sure there's a weight savings there. I wouldn't try one, but like it might work. I might try it for an overnight or something. But
Someone sent it to you. Just set up in the backyard and sleep
no,
on it.
sorry. Like they sent me a link just to like,
Oh, a
hey,
link.
look at this. Yeah, yeah, no, like I don't get anything for free.
Right. Okay. Generally, me neither. Cheers, everyone. It's 10 o'clock. Whiskey time.
Cheers.
Um, yeah, I I don't. How do I say this without sounding kind of bitchy? I'm never willing to trust something inflatable to my comfort and safety. Like, okay, inflatable underpad, fine, because it's this wide and then poof, you know. But like an inflatable tent, I'd be afraid of something happening and it just sort of going bloop, on me during the night. And is that because I haven't really done a deep dive to discover all the magic of who cares? What's wrong with a tent? But there's a bunch of inflatable tents out there now. Oh, he gone frozen again. We'll wait until he comes back. In the meantime, hi to Sean in Alaska. Nice to see you. Mike
There we
Morton
go.
back again.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah. I'm just sort of scrolling down to see if there are any other questions.
I saw one there about a cot.
I'm looking for it. Where is it?
5 or 10 minutes ago, someone asked about like using a cot, I think.
Okay, I'm going to run on down. Curmudgeon's out. Have a good one. Little fish. Hi there, Marcel. I'm scrolling down to get to that question to find it. So many people. Oh, there it is. That's from Christy again. Will you ever invest in a cot, or do you have one already?
I do not have one. I used one once at some kind of like group meetup quite a long time ago. It was comfortable, but they're heavy. I don't have a problem sleeping on the ground. Going on a trip, like I said, in about a month, and one of the guys is bringing one. They make some pretty, I don't know which one. They make some pretty fancy lightweight ones these days, but it also
Yeah.
lifts you off the ground. So like there's an insulation potential loss underneath of you. So you'd still have to kind of fill that void. But I would say never, but I've never had a problem sleeping on the ground. You're exhausted, like you're out. As long as you're warm, like you're done. So right now I have no plans on it, and I did use one the one time, and it was pretty comfortable, but
Mm-hmm.
it was like a really heavy, like you're not carrying it far.
Yeah. Right. Right. I got it. Um, I would have thought that lifting you off the ground would be a benefit. Like, because obviously you still need an under padding, right? But if you slip off it or something, like if you slip off the under padding on the ground, then part of you is leaching warmth into the ground, right? Whereas I would feel that in a cot, you wouldn't have that problem. saying
Um,
having never slept in -40 on a cot, right? So everything
I,
I say is
yeah,
pure ass theory.
and yeah, I guess I did the one time too. But I find I don't ever find that I fall off of my sleeping pad, even in like hundreds of nights on canoe trips. I never like woken up like completely off of it.
Okay.
And I have bows and like at least 2 layers of sleeping pads plus the sleeping bag.
Yeah.
When you're on the cot, it's like the cot is raised up off of the bows
Yeah.
by some proportion. Unless you jam something in there, that's gonna be -40 air directly on you.
So you'd almost have to pile the boughs up under it or something to no, even then.
Or put a sleeping pad under you,
Under
like
you,
under the cot or on top of the cot, and then it's like, why are
big
we bringing the cot at this point?
foam blocks directly under the cot.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get it. Okay.
there could be a way to do it. I just haven't like investigated that technique.
Right. David's asking, what do you recommend for footwear in -40 winter camping? Now, here's the thing. This is following on from the tool discussion. So we talked about you bring a different axe when you're winter camping, right? Um, knife is winter camping a stainless thing, or does the knife not change no matter when?
That's actually an interesting thing for point to bring up. So this is the knife that I stabbed my laptop that I usually bring. It is not just a Finnish style puukko, a puukko from Finland. Actually, the guy who made it passed away a few years ago in a motorcycle accident, so it is irreplaceable. It was sort of custom designed. I like shorter knives, so this is like
Three,
85 millimeters, which is like what, 3 and a bit inches, like
three and a
which is
quarter.
shorter than normal. Um, I had him do the red, white, and red for Canada. There's his initials there. Yeah, Jess has one as well, or your daughter does, I guess.
Yeah. Now
So it's
I did
stacked
the
birch
handle
bark.
on mine, right?
Yes, I didn't do anything. I paid for it, and the guy did it all.
And I bought this based on your suggestion, and
Yeah.
no regrets. It's a great blade.
So like
Um,
I love mine. Yeah, and mine has like you can see it's just patinaed like crazy, and like the,
yeah,
the brass pommel plates all got it's just dirt, steak, grit, whatever. It's not rusted. It's just it gets used, and that's the way she is.
I love the look of a well-used
Um,
knife.
but like this is irreplaceable now, and it does make me a little bit scared. So it does lock up in here very well. So I've never had an issue. It does move a little bit, but like to get it actually out, like I have to like really reef on it. So I've been kind of looking for something to take some time. This is the first knife I probably bought. Like I bought this like when my son was born within a year. So like this is probably like 8 years old.
Mhm.
This is and I only have, other than these two knives, I have one belt knife. Um,
So what's this one?
so this is Benchmade, which I never bought anything from them. It is a Puka, which they don't make anymore. I got it on Marketplace here for like $100. Normally they had a secondary bevel. Whoever had this did like a Scandivex situation.
Okay.
Okay, it says 3V steel on it. I think that's like CPM 3V, like a high-end stainless steel, and the
Mhm.
handle is all rubber. So like to me, as far as like a user, this seems like perfect. I haven't taken on a trip yet. I'll show you the reason why in a minute. But like this to me is like stainless steel. This is like a rubber grippy, like non-destructible
Perfect
thing.
winter blade. Perfect.
Full tang. This is it. Now
Yeah.
the issue is it comes with this leather sheath, which is fine. I got like a fire steel in there. You can see I still have the tag on it, so I haven't even
Mhm.
used it.
Oh, you
But look
have not
how
used
like
that at all. Okay.
no, and so like it goes in there, but like it takes like nothing for it to come out.
Mm.
So it's kind of scared me. And it has this, so I could probably like carabiner it down, and I may do that this year.
You may have to.
I'll have to get a new sheath made for it, just because like I probably should, because otherwise why did I buy it? But the problem is I just love this one so much that like I'm not even sure. Let's take a look at the size difference. I think they're pretty similar size knives. The handle is definitely smaller on the other one
Mhm.
in multiple directions, but the blade is bigger. I guess it's probably 4 inches.
That looks like
Sorry,
a
the
4 inch to
lighting.
me. And
Lighting's
I'm
not
surprised to
great.
see you with a 4-inch blade because in all the time I've known you, you've always liked something like a 3-inch blade.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that.
and even this one was like a little bit longer than I think this is
Yeah.
3.5 and this is probably 4. My other Deering is like 3.25, I think.
Yeah.
But this was just like this is what this it only came in this one size, and it's like just at 4, so it's not bigger. I just need to get a sheath for it. Like it seems like it's super ideal, even for canoe trips. Like it's just fell in the water, got soaking wet. It really doesn't matter. And like I often don't even bring a belt knife on canoe trips anymore. I have the axe. A pocket knife like does like almost everything I want it to, and
Yeah.
like I like not having to wear it, whether it's dangling or whatnot. But it would be perfect for canoe trips as well. So I should probably just
Right.
get a sheath made.
Before we get to this question from David, I would like to point out that Tenenbaum just noticed what the price of the small forest axe has happened
Yeah.
to since he bought his 10 years ago. And I think I bought mine even longer ago than that. And so like when I bought my small forest axe, it was 129 at Lee Valley, or did I buy it at Canadian Outdoor? No, I bought it at Lee Valley, $129. They sure as hell ain't 129 anymore.
No, and it's actually gone to the point where it's getting difficult to recommend. Like,
I can't recommend it. Not at these prices. It's still probably my
yeah.
favorite axe, period. But I just,
But $129 10 years ago, like it felt like okay, that was a lot of money, but like I will have this the rest of my life, and maybe I'll have to replace the handle or whatever. But now it's like $400. There's other good stuff out there, so I have the 4 or 5. I won't need another one. I won't buy another axe probably again. I don't know unless I lose one.
yeah, it pains me that I'll probably never have the Gränsfors hunting axe, but I can't justify the price. I can't.
Yeah, maybe set up like a marketplace watch thing or Kijiji or something. You never know what might happen.
Yeah, or um, maybe I'll reward myself at 5,000 subs. Something like that. But
Yeah.
even then, geez, I don't know, man. So David is asking, and Fitzy, hi Destiny, nice of you to drop in. Um, has a follow-up question to this, which
Okay.
is, will socks for winter camping or know if the boots are quality? So first of all, let's answer David's question. What do you recommend for footwear?
Okay. Two schools of thought, and I've kind of gone back and forth. The biggest, probably warmest pair of boots I have are Sorel Glacier XT. I'm not even sure if they still make them. They are big, they're heavy, they're pack boots. The
Okay.
bottom is rubber, nylon top, super thick felted wool, very big toe box, super warm, super clunky. So I very rarely bring those on trips anymore. Um, so the two schools of thought are the pack boot like that, or you have like a traditional muckluck.
Muckluck, yeah.
Um, my favorite boots right now, to be honest, if it's minus 40, we keep talking about that number, but that is not the most common scenario in like northern Ontario where I go. It's like minus 25 at night and
Mhm.
like minus 10 during the day. So I have these boots called they're Baffins. I used to think Sorel for a long time was like the one, but in my opinion, in the last 5-10 years, Baffin has surpassed them.
Okay.
If you're looking for a pack boot, I would look at Baffin. They have many choices. The one that I like is this model called a Yoho, Yoho, and like it's rated to minus 40, but let's be honest,
Named
it's
after the
not.
national park, I guess.
I assume so, yeah. And so they're very light and they're a lot smaller, so they're a lot more nimble. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's sitting around at minus 25 or 30, you're going to be cold. But like during the day, those are the boots I usually wear. And if it's slush, they're waterproof. The liners pull out. That is a must. I would never buy a pair of winter boots for a backcountry trip that did not have removable liners. If you're going to go snowshoeing during the day and you're going back to a cabin, a cottage, or house, then do whatever you want. But if you're going to go winter camping for multiple nights, you want the insulation to come out so it dries. Otherwise, it'll be a frozen mess and it'll just never dry out. You could try putting it in the bottom of your sleeping bag, blah, blah, blah. But if it comes out, you can hang it on the roof. We put a clothesline on the roof. It's like
Yeah.
super hot up there. By bedtime, they're toasty, perfectly dry every day. That being said, a lot of people really, really like the Mucklux moccasin thing. I have a Lulu North kit that I built myself. I'm
which is
not
what I would
particularly a
like.
crafty guy, and I still really like them. My big one gripe that I can't get over is the slush is a potential problem, but you can get like natural rubber over boots to like stick them in so that you can deal with that. But like it just there's no protection on the bottom, which some people really like. But I find like when you're traipsing around looking for wood, I've stepped on like you don't know what you're stepping on. There's like 4 or 5 feet of snow.
Right.
So you often have it's like you can step on sharp sticks and stuff and like I just
Sure.
like the comfort of having the baffins. And so there is a middle ground. I bought this pair of boots by Empire Wool and Canvas, made by Kevin Kinney, and he is in Duluth, Minnesota. He makes some of the best cold weather winter camping stuff on earth. Very expensive. He doesn't make the boots anymore, and like they were super labor intensive. I just happened to find a pair. There's a guy in Alaska was selling them in my exact size. When he bought them, he was living in the interior of Alaska, and then he was like a fish and game warden, but like while they were en route, he like got transferred to coastal Alaska and has never left. So he never wore them. They're upstairs. I won them a few times, so they look. I should have went and got them. I can run and get them if you want, but they look like a traditional muckluck. But the bottom, he puts on like a almost like a Birkenstock sole, so it has like a traditional rubber sole and like a midsole. So if you step on something, but you get the breathability and cotton canvas upper,
Mm.
um, and like that's a really really good combo. And but again, if you're in a bunch of slush, like it's coming through and you're getting wet. But I'd like to use those more. It's just unless it's really really cold, I just feel like I don't need them.
Yeah.
Those Baffin boots like just do me so well.
Pine Martin. You know Pine Martin, right? Has
Yeah,
uh has the or the North Mucklucks, but they also sold an optional rubber that you could
yeah,
paint on the bottom or something, and I think he's got
yeah.
that.
And I kind of wish I had done that. They are slippery as anything when they're brand new, and I had a bit of an incident while going to the washroom wearing them, where like my feet came right out from underneath of me. I stopped myself before there was any mess, but like I slid like 18 inches down the tree. So like when I like pulling up my pants, like I brought my hand back, it was just like blood. I had
Oh,
like badly cut my back, like sliding it down the tree. Oh, I could see the blood dripping on the snow. That's what it was. So like that's just because they're super slippery. As you wear them in, they get better, and the rubber would fix that. It doesn't make them stiff, but people
right.
also like them because they're not stiff. So I think that's kind of if you get something like the Baffin, like Baffin Monsters, and some of these other ones, it's like your
Yeah.
feet are not going to be cold. They're not going to be wet. It's just like a bomb-proof solution. And I'd recommend that because you're never going to be upset if you live in a cold climate by having like a good pair of boots.
So I'm gonna back you on the Baffins, and I'll tell you why. Because I always used to buy. I just glitched.
Sorel,
Sorel.
me
Look,
too.
I'm Quebecois, right? Of course, I'm gonna buy
Yeah, they're
that.
an hour from you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But my last pair, that sort of rubber front with the ribbing.
yeah,
The last pair just separated at the seam there between that and the upper. Like
yeah.
my previous pair had lasted a long ass time, a few years,
Hmm.
and this one lasted 6 months. And I believe my wife had a pair, lasted about 6 months,
Hmm.
and like because we bought them for the whole freaking family, and we're all like, "Can we not buy these ever again, please?" Um,
Yeah.
Sorrel, please don't call your lawyers. This is just my own experience. They're very good boots. Um,
Well, and if you go to their website, it looks like a fashion company now,
doesn't look the
which
same
is
at all.
fine. But like those Glacier XTs, you could.
So until he gets back, um, I'm gonna bring Destiny's question up just in case I get lost. We'll just wait until he comes back. I'm about to sneeze, so just give me.
Sorry, I don't know what's happening. It's like every 20 minutes. But yeah, like if you go to the Baffin website, like they're most of their stuff is fashion based.
Yeah,
Those,
doesn't look the
if
same.
anyone wants to look, Glacier XT, they were like amazing boots, clunky, but like they had a super tall foot box, extra thick padding, and like if you look up Baffin, they have like 5 boots like that still, and like they have all range of removable soles, and like Sorel still makes like the Caribou and a couple others. They're like pretty nice, but like I think just Baffin has done a really, really, really good job. I actually bought a second pair of boots. They're called, no, I have no idea what they're called, but they're more like a snowshoeing boot. But they're like they
Mhm.
look like a winter hiker, but they have a removable boot. They may actually replace my Yohos, which are like starting to die on me. I just feel like the Yoho is a better foot box, like bigger for deep, deep cold. I wish I could remember the name of the other ones. But yeah, like if that would be my opinion, go to Baffin, especially if you're in Canada. I don't know what their distribution is like in the U.S. If you're looking for mucklucks off the shelf, Steiger is a brand, Steger. They're from like Minnesota-ish area. They make good mucklucks. Um, Footwear is extremely important.
Footwear is.
And to move on to the next question, there, yeah, always wool socks. Um, Darn Tough is a good brand. If you are Canadian or looking for Canadian brands, JB Fields makes some very, very, very good stuff. They don't have quite the forever warranty, but my favorite, like super, so like my winter socks system, I have like 3 or 4 layers. I won't use them all at once, but I have like very thin nylon or polyester. They look like old school like dress socks, very thin. I wear them for 2 reasons. One, it helps move the moisture out. Two, if you're wearing those inside another pair of socks, you're getting sock rubbing on sock instead of foot rubbing on socks. So you avoid blisters.
Right.
And then if it's medium cold, my medium socks that I really, really like are these Smart Wool ones. They have a few different thicknesses, but I get like the thickest one. One of them is like a mountaineering version, which is taller, I think, but it's just like the thickest Smart Wool. It's like these beautiful terry loops when they're new. When you put them on, it's like putting
Cloud.
on like a bathrobe on your foot. They're just spectacular. And then if it's real cold, and I'm like my Yohos won't fit all 3 of these, but like my bigger mucklucks and stuff will. JB Fields make these Icelandic socks. They're like a traditional like felted kind of wool sock, and they make a -40 and I have a -50, and like those are great. They're like heavy duty, made in Canada, honestly dirt cheap compared to Darn Tough socks. I will frequently just wear one of those with a liner in the Baffins and like be happy all day moving around at -25, no problem. So
And so you're gonna bring you're gonna bring a pair for walking around and doing all your work, and then a pair to put on at night while the other ones are hanging to dry, right? To keep your
yeah,
feet
I'll
dry.
typically bring 4 pairs of socks, one liner.
Mhm.
I'll bring a medium pair for the day, and then a medium pair for at night, and then and then like the one thicker pair, which I could put all 3 of them together or do 2 out of the 3. The other thing,
So the
while we're
thick
on
pairs are just
footwear,
in case.
what's that?
The thick pairs just in case you're too cold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sleeping, or I'll put a medium, a thick, and excuse me, the liner socks all together.
Okay.
Um, so the I guess there was another question there about. I guess we can get to that. But anyways, before I forget, hut booties are something I always bring. The ones I have are Mountain Equipment Co-op. Many different brands make them. Mine are synthetic because I'm stepping in snow with them. But they're just
Would you say hut
like
booties?
hut booties. Yeah, I don't know if you have the ability to put pictures up on here, but anyone just Googles them. They're just like a sleeping bag for your feet. They're very light. They have like a little bit of a grippy bottom, and they're just like walking on clouds.
Okay.
And so when you're done for the day, that's what I wear. I'll put them in the hut, and then if you gotta go outside to go pee or get some more firewood or like just whatever, you can
Yeah.
wear them right in the snow, and then you just wear them right inside. And I've worn them in my sleeping bag because sometimes I get cold feet when I'm sleeping, and so it's just like walking on a cloud. And you could walk out with them if you had to. It would maybe be the greatest, but it's like a backup pair of footwear. So
Yeah.
I always recommend whoever's coming to bring those because you will be jealous otherwise.
Right. Destiny's asking a question. Is this the one that you were thinking about, or is there another one?
The other ones are after, but for that,
Yeah.
like Mora, I don't think anyone ever will be upset with
Yeah. More.
Mora, 20,
Absolutely.
$30. Um, as for specific model, like one of the companions, if you're really gonna smash on it, there's like an HD, and there's other versions, but just a regular companion for like
I,
$30.
I have a companion HD and I have a robust.
Yeah.
Um, I was anti Mora for the longest time because on like Bushcraft USA and everything, they're saying like they're so cheap that if any, if you break it or whatever, you can just throw it away and get another one. And because I hate disposable culture, I was like, I'm not getting a freaking Mora. I'm not. And then one day, I think it was Canadian Outdoor Equipment Company
Hmm.
had like a stonking sale on them. And I was like, I have a YouTube channel. I have to know what they're about so that if someone asks, I'm gonna know. So I bought like a companion. I bought two companions. I bought one for me, one for a buddy of mine, and then I bought a companion HD and I bought two robusts. Some combination of those three, anyways, because I bought one for my buddy Robin, who OGs have seen on screen years ago. Um, and based on those cheap ass Moras, I bought the Garberg one like as soon as it came out. And I was like,
Yeah.
$100 on a Mora? What am I doing? Cha-ching. What the hell did I just do? I mean, $100 on a Mora, and then it came. I was like, $100 on a Mora.
I've never broken one. They actually have some really cool knives right now that I will never buy because they're $300 for some reason. But the ones
Yeah,
with the wood scales, like
yeah.
they're
Oh,
like almost a perfect version of this. It's
I
like
know.
3-inch blade. It's got replaceable wood scales, stainless
Yeah.
steel. And it's like, why is this $300?
In fact,
If it was
aren't
a
you the
hundred
one
dollars,
who?
I'd own one.
Yeah, aren't you the one who told me about them?
Yeah, I think so. There's three
Right?
different
You're like,
sizes.
look at this, and I was like, oh my god, that's so sexy. And then I went to the site and I said, oh my god, it's $300. And you said, I know.
That's
So,
like custom knife territory, or used to
yeah.
be.
No, used to be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm so far out of this. I don't even know. My favorite Mora that I've ever had is this model called a 2/0,
Okay.
and it's like one of the really old classics ones. It's very small blade, 3-inch blade. It's got a little simple handle, but like it weighs like absolutely nothing.
The
So if you're looking
Mora,
for like a starter neck
yeah,
knife, that I would recommend that one.
wooden handle, right?
Yeah, like a red ochre wooden handle. Yeah.
Yeah, the more I want the most is either the number 1 or the number 2 because I think they both have that wooden handle, and I haven't gotten around to it. Other things
The
keep
2.0 is like a separate model from the two. It's like
yeah,
the small version. Yeah.
yeah, but the 2 has the longer blade, and the 1 also. I think the one I want the most is the number 1. Other things keep grabbing at my wallet, you know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
they're affordable. They're affordable. It's embarrassing to say, "Oh,
Yeah.
life is so expensive." But I haven't it can't be a priority. But one day I
Yeah.
will have a Mora number 1 because that's
Yeah.
also got the red handle. It's like old school classic Mora.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, Destiny, I agree. If you're just getting started, get a Mora, probably the Companion HD because it's a little heavier duty than the straight up Companion. Um, they've got a lot of stuff, but I think the Companion is your starting point.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You probably never break it unless you're doing something stupid.
Yeah. Christy's asking, what's the name of that guy and his wife does custom leather work? Maybe she can make a sheath for that blade. Why am I drawing?
Um, Freak of Nature, something. Maybe that's what she's talking about.
Yeah, I don't know.
Winter camping one time. I think it's called Freak of Nature. Yeah, I actually thought about messaging her. I just like haven't got around to it because it's like
Yeah,
I think about it every time this year, then I take my other one anyways, and then
yeah.
I forget about it all summer.
David's had the same pair of Sorellis for the past 30 years. Yeah, that's the thing. They used to be great. They used to be
You know,
amazing.
and they used to be made in Canada. I
Well,
don't know
that's
how
the
much
thing
of the
because
bath and stuff is, but
But Sorel got bought, didn't it?
Yeah.
And that seems to be when everything sort of went.
Yes. I mean, that's a pretty common story.
Oh, there it is. Brittany, Mrs. Freak of Nature.
There you
Jim had her make him a sheath and loves it. This is good to know. Here
go.
you go,
Okay. Well, I might
$50.
have to do that.
Yeah. I mean, why not, right? Or at least investigate it. Destiny's also asking suggested proper layering for the humid winter areas, especially if you're from a drier area of Canada. That humidity just drives the cold into a person. That is true, by the way, because I do live in the humid part. Oh, actually, you do too, Mike.
Yeah, right, nestled in between all that near the Great Lakes. Yeah, like I'd much rather -5 if it's really humid is a lot worse than -20 when it's dry.
Yeah, and Destiny lives somewhere on the prairies, so that's a drier cold for sure.
Layers and moisture management. Keeping warm is really actually not that difficult. Um, it's like when you're moving, even if it is -20 or whatever, it's keeping dry. When you're wet, that's when you're cold.
Yeah.
You know, cotton anorak is great for an over, that's what I use, but on your body, you don't want that. Polyester fleece is one school, wool is the other, or some combination. I have lots of both. Fleece can stink. Wool usually doesn't. Wool's more expensive. It's not as durable. Fleece is great. I have tons of it. I use it for like more like day trips, day hiking, whatever, because throw it in the washing machine, wash it, dry it, who cares? The wool, you got to worry about it shrinking and it's
Yeah,
just not as durable.
I'm absolutely team wool, especially because like if an ember falls on your wool jacket, you brush it off. If it falls on your Gore-Tex, you're like swearing in both official languages at the hole.
Yeah, and I have Gore-Tex for canoe trips and stuff. On a deep winter trip, I don't bring any of it because there's just no need. It
Yeah.
doesn't breathe despite what anyone tells you. I hate
No.
wearing Gore-Tex. If
Yeah.
you're sitting in a canoe and it's pouring rain on you, then it's spectacular, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't breathe. Wool pants, like the if you're looking for pants, Big Bill, 28-ounce plaid wool pants, made in Canada. They're like $150. They're just the best. There's nothing else I would recommend. They're 100% wool. There's a 24-ounce version that's green.
Mhm.
You can get it with side pocket, like cargo pockets or not. They're a little bit cheaper, still made in Canada. Just the range is crazy. My entire layering system I stole from um, Winter Trucker YouTube channel.
Mhm.
Glenn, like he doesn't make videos anymore, sadly. Like literally, maybe in my top two channels of all time, maybe number one. But like he has. If you need to know about clothes, go look up what he is. Literally bought the same pants. He used to run this snow trekking forum website that's long since gone, but like he had tons of posts in there. I used to read them all the time. It may still be on Wayback Time Machine, but I like went to the exact same spot and bought the exact same weight like suede leather to make knee patches out of. I went and
Mhm.
hunted down like the same toques and like, I literally copied everything he did, and I could not be happier with the way it's still. Like I don't want to take credit necessarily because I just literally copied what this guy was doing. I met him the one time at one of those winter camping symposiums, but he hasn't put out a video in years. So
So one of the reasons I like wool is because it can get kind of wet and still keep its thermal properties.
yeah, and
Well,
like
I don't know what else
it
to do.
everyone says that, and like it's hard to like feel what that actually means. And like I wasn't really for years. I was like it's you're still cold, but like I had an incident where I was camping a few years ago. I had a wool base layer and a wool, like a button-up wool shirt, and we
Right?
were like skirting around this like beaver dam,
Okay.
and like I kind of slipped going up the side of the dam, and I fell, and I like punched through up to my elbow, like right
Oh
into the
no.
water.
Okay.
Nothing else, just all the way up to my elbow, like soaking wet. Pulled it out, and like it was like -15 or something, -10 for sure, and like
Mhm.
I didn't dry it, I didn't change. But like I just kept working for 2 or 3 hours and like I was totally fine.
Right.
it eventually actually dried out before I even really got into the tent.
Oh, nice.
Um, that being said, if you're totally dead soaked, it's just like it doesn't really matter. But if it does get a little bit wet, the wool doesn't smell. It's a lot happier if it gets fire embers.
Yeah.
It's it also has like that sexy traditional mystique, right? Like you
Hell
feel
yeah.
like, yeah, which is say it's worth something. So
Hey,
yeah, my layering system is like wool pants, and then I'll wear a thin wool long sleeve shirt, button up shirt, wool sweater. I do have like a modern down bomber jacket
mm-hmm.
for like stop, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
stops and
Um, just let me share something here because I just noticed that Moron Classic number 2 is a lot more expensive. You know what? I should have bought it.
when you were saying that, I thought I looked up the 2.0 recently. I thought it was like $60 or something.
So did I. If I can get this to work, I will show you, however, what it now costs. And I am not spectacularly happy about it. Look at what it costs now.
$77.
Look at
Yeah, those
that.
things used to be like 30, and that was like why they were great. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's like 4 inches. But look how light that is, 100 grams. That's why I love those things.
I mean, I still want one, but and you know what? Here's the thing. Look at that handle. That's not the old cheap painting it used to have. Look, that's almost like a stain, a red ochre stain.
Mine has the cheap painting. Still has that really, well, I won't use the word I want to use, that not those sheath of garbage. The one I had was plastic. It actually looked worse than that, and it's gone. I
Mhm.
have like my buddy Doug made me a Kydex one, but it's
I think
seen better days.
because that sheath is clearly better than the one that I thought it was going to be. Right, that plastic cheap ass one you were talking about, right?
Yeah,
Um,
just like a blow molded thing.
yeah, this is
I
not.
wonder
I
if they've
mean,
like
love it.
upgraded these to like make them more money. There's 1.0. I guess they don't have the 2.0 anymore.
Huh. No, don't want the 2F, don't want the 3, but the 1 or the 2. Yeah, these are actually a lot hotter looking, actually. That
Yeah, they
handle
do
looks
look.
amazing.
I wonder if this steel is a little bit nicer too or something. But
For that much of an upcharge, if not, then I'm irate, shall we say.
yeah,
Downright pissy. But, anyway. Um, so yeah, good questions. Hold on. Jim loves his Smartwool. Is Smartwool Swedish?
no, it's wool power.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Jim says he has a pair of Cabela's Ice Mountain, just like Lacrosse Ice Cream Kings, good down to minus 100.
Yeah,
100.
doubt it.
So that's going to be Fahrenheit,
Yeah, I mean at
right?
that temperature it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair. I'm just seeing if there are any other questions popping in here. Oh no, it just jumped to the beginning. Why must you do this to me? Hold on, let me scroll down. There's the caught question. This app I'm using costs way less than the one I had been using, but there are some issues.
Mhm.
There are some issues. Knife suggestion for women who are just getting into. Okay, Brittany, Mrs. Freak of Nature, good. Catching up here. Suggested proper layering. We've dealt with that.
While you're catching up, the one thing I'll suggest about clothes is this is one place where you can absolutely save a ton of money. Some of my favorite like winter clothes, camping clothes I have is like I've ended up finding at like a Value Village or Marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
Like the wool. I have a couple of really nice wool shirts. I have a Woolrich one I bought brand new, and I have this really nice L Bean one that I bought somewhere, but it's like 50, 60 years old. But like it's thick, but the one I have, this Eddie Bauer one. It's like only 75% wool. I got it for like $8 at Value Village, and I love it because I don't care about it. I like that it's thin, so I can layer. Like a chunky wool sweater at Value Village, it doesn't even matter what's on it. It could be an ugly Christmas sweater as long as it's mostly wool. Um, Pants are tougher one, but you can find like even wool dress pants if you go with some thicker, long underwear under them. There's nothing wrong with that. So you can definitely save a ton of money on the clothing.
Yeah.
And then if you tear it up, you can either upgrade or go find something else, and you won't
Right.
have to feel bad about it. Like I do have nice and expensive stuff because I like camping and I like the clothes, and it's always the like cheap stuff that I go back to because you can just you're bushwhacking or you're like you just don't have to care about it.
You don't care about
And
it.
it's like
I
that.
just want to say, Tenenbaum says that classic too is 349 kronor where he lives, which is 52 Canadian, which is a much better price. But once I add in shipping and probably,
Well, yeah, it's got to get across the Atlantic Ocean there. So
yeah. So, also David is out. David is saying goodbye. Good night, David. Happy Christmas. I will not speak to you before then, I imagine. I hope you get. I hope you spend quality. Yes, that's it.
unless it's a Moratou, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, now I'm thinking about it, and it's funny that I was gonna say it's funny because it's a cheap ass knife. It's not. That's one of the more expensive of the non really. Well, actually, I'm
I think mine was like $25 when I bought it. I'm tempted to go run upstairs and get it, but yeah, it had like a painted handle and it had absolutely like blow molded like crazy cheap sheath, which I don't
yeah,
even have anymore,
yeah. But like even their
and it
carving
weighs
knives,
nothing.
which are essentially that,
Hmm.
48, 49 to $55. Like this is
Well,
not
they
what
they've
knives
made
are.
they made a name for themselves in the last 20 years, and I guess they figured out that they can charge people more, so they have.
I'm irate about this. I'm absolutely irate. A companion HD is 41.95 now.
Yeah.
What? I spent like 20 because the companion at that point was like 10 or 12. More companion right now is 27.95. No,
I still feel like a good deal.
it's 24 to $28.
Yeah, $24 is still like a screaming deal. You'd probably never need
24
another
is fine.
knife.
24 is fine. Destiny, more companion at Canadian Outdoor Equipment, $24. Don't spend more. Um, but yeah. Um, okay, so here's one of the questions that I had told you I wanted to ask you, and then we sort of got distracted by all these great questions. What would you consider to be your? It's a two-parter. Flip a coin, right? Is it two-sided one? What was your worst winter camping purchase? Like something that just never gets used or broke or whatever. Your worst, and then what was your absolute best winter camping purchase? I'd like you to start with the worst because that's always more fun.
I'm trying to think of something that was like an absolute disaster that I bought. Um, I did buy like the first thing I did, I bought like a Polk.
Yeah.
Like I was in kind of a hurry, and it was like $20. It was just like one of those cheap Pelican ones,
Hmm.
and it was really small, and my stuff was piled so high, it was so tippy and frustrating. It's like I didn't live with that long before, and I don't have anything that I bought that was expensive that I regret at all.
Okay.
Um,
Question about that Polk though, before you move on. Are you absolutely team Polk or are you team toboggan with, you know,
Team Toboggan,
yeah,
yeah, in like northern Ontario, like where it's a mostly lake travel.
yeah,
It's just it spreads the weight out. If you have it set up properly and you have good snow, you can just like pull it with your pinky finger.
yeah.
Um,
And I had heard that what someone, I don't remember who, I'm sorry, but what he did was he takes the rope or the strap or whatever that thing, the line that you hold on to when you're riding the toboggan, and he crosses it before slipping it around his waist, and he has like these tubes that he puts on to keep the ropes straight so that they don't get tangled or start twisting. Do
Yeah,
you do something like that?
I don't. Um, but it is a pain in the butt going downhill. Like if you are on, like obviously it's not a problem on a lake, right? But if you're doing a portage or something, and there's a hill, and the thing is like constantly trying to overrun you. It's frustrating when it hits the back of your ankles. Probably could injure you. But like I'll just walk beside it. Or almost all of them come with a tail rope. So there's a
Okay,
little
so you
rope
can
at the
just
back. I just hold the walk, just walk the dog, and just let it roll down the hill. You go if it's a nice straight one, you could just ghost ride it and let it go. You
Mhm.
could jump on and ride it if you want. Um, so I haven't done that. I know that people do, or they get some kind of waist belt, but I just haven't really had a problem with it.
And is there a toboggan that you love more than all others?
The only one I really use is the Whiskey Jack,
Okay.
made by John. He's close to me. Actually, we went to high school together, which I did not realize. He's maybe only for a year or two. He's a couple years older than me,
Oh,
but
so Whiskey Jack is a Canadian outfit.
yeah, he lives in like 20
Okay.
minutes from me. He's just like
I don't know
near
why.
Hamilton.
I thought they were Minnesota or something. I don't know why. Okay.
No, no, he works in Burlington too. So like he works right beside
Oh,
me. So like
wow.
I have sled from him, which I've had quite a while, 5 or 6 years, and then I have I have a so the sled's 8 feet long of every 2 feet. So there's 2 feet, 2 feet, 2 feet of storage space,
Mhm.
and then there's a curl in the front, which is an extra foot, and then so I have a 6 foot tank, which is like just a big old like body bag basically that opens up. You throw all your stuff in, you close it down, you lash it all down. I have a top bag on top of that, which is 4 feet long, and it allows you to get into stuff because once you lash down your bag, you cannot
Forget it.
access it. So the top bag allows you to have like food and water and extra layers and axe, saw, anything you'd want to use all day. And then so
That
the last 2 feet is where the stove and the tent goes. We have me and my brother have these like plastic containers that you can put the tent in. And our old stove, we still have to sort out something for the new stove because it is bigger. But the plastic allows it works as like a table inside the tent. When you're moving around all day, you can sit on it like a little
mhm.
seat for lunch. So that's worked really really well for me. The Lure of the North ones are very similar kind of materials. I've just never used one. I'm sure that they are spectacular as well.
So the 2 bags, they're Whiskey Jack as well?
Yes, and he has a whole bunch of extra stuff. He has stove bags and
Okay.
like one I get wanigans and like a
Mm,
little bag for the curl area and like
okay.
just a ton of and he makes ice chisels. I have one of those
Mm,
to get through the water instead of bringing like an auger. Like I don't really
mm.
ice fish, so like I'm not cutting a lot of holes. Maybe just one for water. So you fashion a wooden handle, stick it in there, and chisel through down into the thing, and like they're deadly, deadly. Like they go through, they just the ice is flying. So those are great. Yeah, it's a great company. It's like in the GTA, Western GTA. Yeah, they make great stuff.
Mm. Good
But
to know.
yeah, it's not cheap, but it's like he's hand making all this stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Um, I had another question and it's gone. Oh, but however, Jim has a question. I have a I have a negative 20 degree. You know what I'm saying? Mm, sorry, I'm glitching. I have a bag that's good to minus 20 degrees. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that he means Fahrenheit because of where he lives. What's a good way to make it warmer? Some sort of shell? I would almost say wool blanket.
the wool blanket has its advantages, but what you have to be very careful about doing is about crushing the insulation. So if you
Right.
have a very thick wool blanket laying on top of your nicely lofted down, you
Yeah,
can
yeah, yeah.
actually have a negative impact. And I've done that before. But usually it's like I'll have the wool blanket over top of me during the day just to like protect the thing from getting destroyed. But I don't typically bring one anymore just because they're so heavy.
Oh.
The best way to do it would be a second bag, and the way I would do it is if you already have a second sleeping bag, or if you're gonna buy something, like buy like a quilt. So like underneath of you, you're just wasting that because you're gonna crush it and it's gonna crush the down of the other one. But if you take a sleeping bag and you unzip it almost all the way, like leave like a foot box kind of area, jam the foot box of your tent in so it doesn't go anywhere, and then you just drape it over top of your sleeping bag so it's just covering the top and not
Mhm.
underneath of you, then it won't crush your down. It won't make you feel like you're stuck in a trap. And
'Cause you've
that
got sleeping pads and stuff under you anyway, right? So that'll
exactly.
be
So
insulating.
and that way you can do quite well. I no, I'm not going to give you a number, and no one will. But like I think there's some math you can help figure it out. But I mean, a minus 20 Fahrenheit bag is pretty warm. That's like minus 30 Celsius.
Yeah.
So if you added like another, like a, I don't know, I'm trying to do it in Fahrenheit, like a 0 degree bag on top of that, which would, that's a minus 18. Like that would get you pretty good.
Yeah.
Or even something like 32 is maybe too light, but something like a 20-degree bag on top of it, I think you'd get a pretty good extra boost.
Yeah.
And the other easy trick for extending a bag is if you're kind of close to where you want to be, the old hot water Nalgene trick
Mhm.
works really, really well in the beginning. Just boiling water in an Nalgene.
Throw it in.
You can put it in a sock or not, and just throw it in there 10 minutes before bed. It'll like warm the whole thing up. And then once you get there, you can kind of hug it, like leave it around your midsection or on the back near your kidneys or whatever, and like it'll warm you for like hours and hours. But
Will it get you to the morning though?
that's what it'll still. No, it won't keep you warm till the morning. But the water in the morning won't be cold. It'll still be warmer than your body temperature,
Right. Yeah.
especially if you put it in a sock or something. Like putting in a sock prevents it from. People say like from melting a sleeping bag. I'm not sure that you could do that because it's only. But the sock sort of like slows down the heat loss from it and spreads it out a bit. So
Right.
it's probably not a bad idea.
Nice. G Straight is asking, question, if it wasn't asked already, what is the scariest or most desperate winter camping situation you were in? I kind of feel that that's when the train was 6 hours late.
No, that was just that felt like we knew that the train could be late. The scariest is like for people who weren't here, the story before. I'll tell and I'll add the most desperate part earlier, which I had left out. But um, so we were camping. We were not that far from the car, like 3, 4 miles, 5 or 6 kilometers. We were cooking on the fire, and like it was like chicken adobo, lots of oil, and it spilled. There was like a flash fire for like 5 seconds, and kind of like we were like literally it flashed before our eyes. So that was scary for those 5 seconds. We're like, okay, that could have gone very poorly. Didn't, but it was a bit of an eye opener to a situation I knew could have happened. But anyway, so the desperate part is like for whatever reason that chicken did not sit well with me. So like I never had this problem before or after, but minus or not minus 3 a.m. minus 30 bathroom run.
Oh no.
Not a pee. It was desperate indeed and not a lot of fun.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
So in minus 40, here's the thing. When you have certain problems, dehydration can become an issue, right?
Well, it's tough drinking that much water. You have to.
Yeah. Uh,
You gotta force it.
right.
And it
Yeah.
depends on the kind of trip you're doing. If you're not moving, then you're not killing yourself. But
Yeah,
you
fair
gotta
enough.
try and drink a couple liters a day for sure. And that's where like at lunch I'll bring like the little cup of ramen, like
Mhm.
that gets you half a liter in soup and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
tea and whatever. people drink coffee. That's all water that's going through you.
Well,
So
I do want to say that Christy's on her way out. Big traditional Polish family dinner tomorrow. Thank you, Mike, for the wonderful conversation. Good night, Christy. I hope you have a good time tomorrow. Living in Quebec, we have Réveillon tomorrow, which is similar in many ways, although the foods are going to be different. But yeah, happy holidays, Christy, and I'll speak to you.
no, thanks and good night.
Hopefully next Tuesday. I don't know what date next Tuesday is. I'm like, see you next Tuesday. But if it's like
30th.
I may not see you next Tuesday. We'll see. All will become clear. All will become pretty clear. I'm just thinking. Okay, I was just making sure that someone else wasn't popping out on us. I have the Grants First page open from the Canadian Outdoor Equipment Company, and
Bring it up. Let's see. I want to be shocked.
It's painful, man. Although it is less painful than I thought. Okay, hold on. So the small forest axe is $220 now. So that's
it was $100 more than 10 years ago.
$100 more than 10 years ago. The Scandinavian forest axe, which I would love to have. I would love it because I have two of the Wetterlings. So what I did was I put Camille's name on one of them. I said, when you're older, this is yours. Like I stamped her name into the butt, into the knob of the handle. I said, this is your axe.
Oh, didn't they send you two?
Not them, but yeah. I ordered a handle and I got a whole axe. From
that was what's happening, yeah.
From Bushcraft Canada, yep. Which is why I freely gave one to Camille. But what I would like to do, because Clémence also likes the great outdoors, so what I would like to do is put her name on the other Wetterlings one and have and buy myself the Grants First. But $245? No, no. Like even that wildlife hatchet.
Have you tried?
What?
It's so those. I've never even held one of those. They're so small.
Yeah. I have held one and I fell deeply in love with it. But I have the Wetterlings 10-inch, what they used to call the hand axe, and now they call the buddy hatchet. You know, little 10-inch handle. So it's harder to justify. No, it's hard to justify any of these actually.
Can you go back? Sorry, go back 1 sec there.
Yeah.
Have you used the one you're pointing out right there, the outdoor axe before?
No, never have.
My opinion, it may be my favorite one that I have from them.
Oh, you have this one?
Yeah, that's my summer canoe trip axe. The whole thing weighs like a pound. It's got a little bit longer handle than the other hatchets. Wedgie head again, like for summer canoe trips or even spring and fall, or where you're just going to split a little bit of wood to get the fire started.
Yeah.
That thing is spectacular.
And I love having the metal collar on it to protect it from
exactly. Mine's all painted beat to hell, and that's one I would replace immediately if it got lost. Even at probably, well, maybe not immediately, but at $220, I would eventually.
It's hilarious.
I don't have any other small ones.
It's hilarious that I'm complaining about like $220 on an axe when I have spent $220 on bottles of whiskey before, right?
Yeah.
But it's just because I remember when all of these were like 120 to 129.
Yeah.
Right. And I think the hunting axe would be in here. Wait, no, that's the mini hatch. Oh yeah, the hunter's axe, $230. I love it. I
know it has the rounded pole. I guess that's the difference, right? Is it the same size as the small forest, or is it
similar? But like, look at the handle.
Yeah, it has like different curve.
Because it's a different curve. Because the reason for that is like it's designed for you to whip that thing around backwards and like pull at the hide of the animal and just beat at the exact.
Yeah.
I did not mean to. Thumbs up. Sorry about that. Oh no, wait, I have to try this now. I hate this aspect of online. Anyway, so it's meant that you turn around and like beat at the joint where the skin comes away from the flesh, and that's why it's rounded, right? So you don't score the skin, the hide, just in case you want to use the hide for something.
Yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love it. But $230, you know, I really love it though. I'm like, oh.
That one never really did it for me because I just knew I was never gonna use it.
Well,
Like
here's the
I
thing. I
don't hunt,
used to go
but like
hunting, right? I did used to hunt
yeah,
a lot.
yeah,
I'm trying to get to the the specs of it, but it doesn't seem to like it's not letting me
probably lower. I think there's lower down the page.
yeah, it's just not letting me scroll for some reason. Hold on.
Oh,
It's not letting me scroll. Okay, that's weird, but okay. So let's just why are you not letting me scroll? Let me reload. There we go.
there you
Okay, so it's a
go. Okay, so it
1989.
is the same as the small forest.
So right,
So
so
it's
hold
the
on.
exact specs of the small forest size.
Yeah, except difference in the shape of the handle, right? Doesn't
Yeah, and the pole. Yeah,
and the pull. And yeah, so
I haven't used my small forest axe now in like a couple years because I haven't been doing like I used to use it all the time for like bushcraft day trips or whatever. It's like it was small enough to fit in the pack, but like I could still pack a punch. But like now it's like if I go in the winter, I take a big one. If I go in the summer, it's too big.
right,
Now, if I go in like a late fall canoe trip, it comes because it's like, okay, I might get in a situation where I need to like do some legit
right.
work here.
Oh, this is their analog to my butterlings,
Yeah.
you know.
And like that's probably the same head as one of the other ones,
Yeah.
just with a different handle,
It's
right?
look, it's the same head as the mini hatchet, I think. Oh no, 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 no,
Is it?
no,
I
no.
no.
No, the mini hatchet
Wildlife
is
hatch.
tiny. The head
I've
on the
I've used it. Yeah.
yeah.
Joe's buddy Doug had one and I got to use it for a bit. Or somebody I used one anyways. I had one for like a week and like it is tiny.
Jesus, look at what my large carving axe costs now.
Yeah.
Look at that. I mean, the carpenters I was also really into, but no way. 270?
Yeah.
100 buck 100 yeah, 100 bucks more than when I got mine.
What
No.
uh what's the splitting mall worth now?
Do we even want to look?
I do
Let's
because I
look.
got mine for $80
Yeah, of course we want to look. Hold on. Splitting axes.
10 years ago. I've never used it.
Look, boom.
Oh,
270.
I feel like 270 for the splitting mall is a deal.
But it used to be 200,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And that
and
used to
that
be
was a
like
lot.
yeah, you know. Like okay, so if I won the lottery and I could buy one of these, for me, the one I would probably want, just looking at I'm going camping, right? I'm not an off-gridder or anything. I would probably want the small splitting axe.
Yeah, that's what Adam has. That he brings when we're camping, and I'm always jealous when he pulls that bad boy out.
I would absolutely the splitting hatchet, I've seen both of these at I think Lee Valley, and I do feel I would want
The
the small
hatchet's
split.
like just too short of a
It's too
handle.
small.
It's like it's not probably going to be much better than any other axe that size.
Yeah, this is too small. The mall is not a camping item for me.
No,
The large splitting axe still, like, that's if
that's a
you're
cabin.
cabin, yeah, but I do like that small splitting axe.
Yeah, yeah.
But, you know
But I feel like that gap was taken up by the Raymiers. So like
absolutely,
I
yeah.
wouldn't.
Yeah, absolutely, and, I mean, I have been unable to even see one on sale, let alone afford one, so, you know.
That's why I jumped because I for like 5 years they weren't.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, I don't blame you. Tenenbaum says, "Oddly, Transfer's pricing is about the same here. Looks like they have a worldwide." Yeah, yeah, look, I'm not saying they were only getting more expensive here. I've seen their prices go up even, like, I keep checking the Raymir's website, and the prices there have gone up as well, so, they're adjusting their price to suit the fact that they can barely keep up with demand.
Yeah,
They're the Rickenbacker base of the axe world for sure, you know?
but I feel like I'm
That was a
wondering if
really
they've
unusual.
noticed a saturation point it's maybe just that I don't pay attention as much anymore, but like 10, 15 years ago when I was like heavily into that side of like the more bushcraft stuff, I felt like they were gaining crazy popularity. And I just wonder now if like there's obviously always going to be new people coming in, but like almost anyone who kind of wanted one has done so. Like I know if
Yeah.
I go into Canadian Outdoor Equipment once or twice a year, and like 10 years ago there was nothing on the wall, and
Mhm.
now they have like 4 or 5 of each type, like all sitting there waiting.
I think if I was still spending my time on bushcraftusa.com, I would have a clearer view.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't go there anymore.
I had to stop because I would keep going to the damned classifieds.
But yeah.
Like, I stopped going to Bushcraft USA for the stop reason for the same reason I stopped reading mountain biking magazines at one point. Like, well, look, when Camille was
Hmm.
born, stopped mountain biking, so it doesn't matter anymore. But
Hmm.
I was always getting drawn into like buying new stuff, upgrading this and that on my bike, and like Bushcraft USA did the same thing for my tools and stuff. You know, I was like, oh, I want this, oh, I want that. One thing I have no regrets about though. Just let me find it. The Bushcraft
Ooh,
USA exclusive mini Nesmic.
interesting. You've had that for a few years?
I've had it forever. It's
Forever,
been
okay.
it's been my food prep knife. Uh,
Yeah.
he Jack White, not Jack White. What's his name? White guy. What's his name?
Knife
Jack.
guy?
I'm glitching, but anyways, he made like an exclusive run of these for like 55 US.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have always wanted a Nesmic. I will take the mini Nesmic, thinking that I was just gonna get like this, gadget value 55. Who cares? Back then, I was making bank, but this is a great camp
Very
kitchen knife.
different than anything else I would have.
Me too. The Nesmuk is like it's the most Americana of bushcraft knives, right? That and the Kephart. And
Hmm.
I've always been more into sort of um woodlore style,
Yeah,
but
likewise.
I, you know, there's a magic to anyways, I thought I was just buying a little gadget. And it comes all the time because it's a great little camp kitchen knife. Convex, I was afraid of that. That's a whole different skill set than my little Scandies, but nice little knife. Nice little knife for sure. That's the best thing because I didn't buy too much off of the classifieds because when I did the math about the shipping and the exchange, what I thought was a stonking deal would sort of like, whoop, okay, nope,
Yeah.
let's
It's
let's
all of a sudden
pump the brakes a little
double.
here.
Yeah.
But I did end up spending more money like at Canadian Outdoor Equipment or even on Amazon that I didn't have to if I wasn't always being bombarded with like, so I just got this and it's fabulous. And I'm like, wow, that does look fabulous. I should buy it right now. And then $100 later, $200 later, it's like, did I have to buy that right now? Did I? You know? Um, uh, we haven't gotten to your best purchase, by the way, speaking of purchases.
It would either be the sleeping bag is very high up on my list. I just when I go on a winter camping trip now, I don't have to like stress for weeks. Am I going to be cold or like it's like I don't have to figure out which bag I'm bringing. Even if it's -20, I'll bring the -40 bag because it's like 2,400 grams or something.
Right.
And like I do have a -15 bag, but it's like I don't know, it's only a pound and a half lighter. So it's like
So what's the point?
the -40 bag is pretty much coming, and it's just like it's done, it's sorted. I'll have that for 20, 30 more years. When I'm done doing this, I'll probably still have that bag. So like
And
that,
would you say that that bag is more important than the quality of the tent?
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
The tent quality is more of enjoyment. The sleeping bags like this is what's keeping me alive all night.
Right.
But the tent
Yeah.
would be number 1A or 1B. It's great tent, and like
Hmm.
it's nice. It looks cool. It works great. It sets up easy. There's just no downsides to it.
Yeah.
Maybe I would have considered getting a little bit bigger. Like it's a 3 fits, but it's not like perfect. Like I'm 6 foot, so I'm not like particularly tall. But like if you get 3 6 foot dudes in there, you start running out of room. It's
Well,
only 9 feet wide, right? So if you have someone sleeping lengthways and widthways, that's all of it.
I would like to say that as someone who's 5'7", saying that you're 6 foot and you're not particularly tall kind of hurts my soul.
Sorry, my friend group, I am like is weirdly tall, and I'm like one of the shorter ones.
Okay, great.
But I'm not like a giant like 6'6". Like everything is like small for me. It's just if you got 3 dudes in the tent that are like my size, it starts getting a little tight on space.
Yeah,
So there's a 10 by 13, which is the next step. But again, like we are trying to like save some weight, so like a 10 by 13 is probably like 5 pounds again heavier.
yeah, because
But
that's not you're not just adding 2 feet, right?
yes,
You're
yeah,
not just
you're
adding
adding
2 feet.
a foot wider and 2.5. You're adding quite a lot of material. But then you could fit 4 guys in it probably,
Hmm.
and then you'd have 4 guys split in the weight. So I don't have regrets. It's like it's good. Yeah, I like that. If you want to do something a little bit smaller, those big bill wool pants I have, I like
Yeah,
freaking love those.
right.
I just wish I could wear them more often.
Yeah,
But
they're
yeah,
on.
they're so comfortable. They're just like wool track pants, and they
Yeah.
look cool. They work great.
I had
Made in
never
Canada,
thought
which I
about
love.
Yeah, I'd never thought about buying wool pants before, but now I think I will because um I love wool. I spent my whole life hating wool, but now I love wool. Because now I see the benefits over something like a freaking Gore-Tex or whatever. And I've never loved the feeling of, say, fleece next to my skin. I have a lot of textural text things, text,
Yeah,
not texture things. Okay. So the texture of
yeah,
like that plastic, because that's what it is, right?
yeah.
Fleece is plastic against my skin. Always like, I feel like it's like shredded Coke bottles. Um,
Uh-huh.
but now that I understand layering more than I did as a younger
Yeah.
man, I love wool as I wouldn't call wool to be windbreaking. So like a nice wool with like a top shell over it of something like
But
a
like
canvas or
the
whatever.
28-ounce ones, they're thick. They're thick ass pants, like pardon the French. But like they don't block all the wind, but they block 75% of it.
And you've
So
probably
like
got long
unless
johns
it's
anyway, right?
yeah, and like and some wind penetration is actually beneficial, right? That's what's
Mhm.
carrying the moisture out.
Oh, I wanna get
So
your
you want
opinion on
like if
something.
it's -40 and 100-mile-an-hour winds, then yeah, you're in trouble. But sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, you just did -40 Celsius and then 100-mile-an-hour winds, and I just went,
Yeah,
"Ding."
well, yeah, you're
Um,
Canadian. That's what we do. Because 160-kilometer-an-hour winds doesn't sound as cool.
well, it sounds more.
That's it.
It sounds faster. Um, yes, um, oh my god, I'm glitching. Pine Martin, once
Yeah.
told me in a private conversation that when he's going winter camping, he likes to be very slightly chilly in his stuff because then as he works and does stuff, he doesn't get hot and sweaty, he gets fine,
Yeah.
right? Because he says, "The
The old
last thing I
saying,
want."
be bold, be bold, start cold.
Yeah.
Like if you even just for a day hike, and let's say it's cold outside, winter, and you get out of the car and you are like standing around
Mhm.
putting your boots on, packing your bag, and you're not and you're comfortable, well then you're gonna be super hot real quick.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said, like, start just a little chilly, and then as you're working and stuff, instead of getting hot and sweaty, and once you get sweaty, you can chill, he says, "You get fine."
Well,
Y
he has a phrase too that like I think he says he invented it. I never heard anyone say it otherwise. But he says like ride the cool edge, which is like you don't want to be warm.
Hmm.
My wife hates is freezing cold all the time. She doesn't like the cold, but like you don't want to be warm when you're outside because if you're warm, you're going to be sweaty and hot. It's
Yeah.
like you want to be a little bit cold. You want to have that feeling like when it's like super hot in the summer and you come in your to someone that their air conditioning is just rocking and like
And
you
you're
want
freezing.
that like little bit of a cool feeling
Hmm.
and you just got to learn to live with it and then you'll be less sweaty and I like cooler weather so like
Yeah.
obviously we're talking about winter camping but
Yeah. Jim says he wears polypropylene under his wool pants.
yeah, that is not as common as polyester these days. I've never really had anything polypropylene. I under my wool pants, I generally use polyester because I want super super thin, like T0, like as thin as it gets base layer because
Yeah.
unless it's really cold, I don't need it for the warmth. It's like it just keeps the super thick 28-ounce wool from like being on directly on your skin. And that's
Yeah.
why I don't wear, I have wool long johns on the bottom if it gets colder, if it's like, and I need them,
Yeah.
but they just don't make wool ones that are that thin. So I typically wear really thin.
So if I could afford it, I always feel like it's an affordability thing, but it is. I would love to have a full underlayer of merino.
Yeah. Yeah. And like it doesn't have to be like Mountain Equipment Company now, but they sell merino stuff and like it's not all necessarily 100%, but there are a lot of advantages to that too in terms of durability and cost. And that stuff goes on sale.
I didn't know that they sold them. Like the only in town, the only merino place I know of is Iceberg? No,
Icebreaker.
Icebreaker, yeah, that's the New Zealand company, right?
Yeah,
But
Mac has like at least two or three levels of merino,
huh, okay. Good to
tops
know.
and
Maybe I'll check
bottom.
that out. Can check it
And
out.
there's a company on Amazon. They're called Wool Love,
Well,
um,
okay.
and they're pretty reasonably priced. I know a guy who has a bunch of that stuff. I think I have a T-shirt or a long sleeve shirt from them. That seems fine. Um, yeah,
Um,
it is really nice, and I have like again like check marketplace. I have a couple of like old mech like T2 merino. I got a merino hoodie. Like some guy must have bought it. I got it for like $40. He'd never worn it. I was like they're like 120, $30 these days.
wow,
So
okay.
like
Nice.
long underwear is I feel like lower half is a little bit you know I'm less likely to want to go buy someone's used long
Yeah.
johns, but like base layer is up top. I don't know. You watch it, it's fine. I don't really care, but
But even
that's
even long johns, if you wash them and then wash them and then wash them, they should be okay.
yeah.
Um, Little Fish in the Kitchen says my daughter can't stand the feel of fleece either. Nice to know. I don't feel quite so lonely.
Yeah, I think it's like I wouldn't say it's common, but I think it's not uncommon at all.
Yeah. Homie Omi says, I've been looking into those alpaca hoodies for hiking. I don't even know what those are. I mean, I know what alpaca is, but I didn't know there was a.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Never used I assume it has a lot of similar properties. Well, it is wool, right? It's alpaca wool versus
So, two things. Homie Omi's got some of the coolest shit imaginable. I mean, he's got some nice stuff. But more importantly, like, I feel that it's like I sort of alluded to at the very start of this. Like, there are so many opportunities for us to spend money, right? How many different kinds of wool? How many of this? What's that? Do you need does this person have tin pants? How many knives do you need? How many axes do you need? I have way too many axes, but I've built most of them, right? I've restored most of them from like a head, sort of as projects. So that's my defense. Like how many canoes do you need? I need one. I really need one. How many
so
tents do you need? How many, like the reason I unhitched from Bushcraft USA, the reason I unhitched from so much of the stuff I used to watch all the time is because there's only so much money one can make in one's life. And if you're not careful, there are companies who just specialize in taking it from you in return for goods. I'm not saying that they're all cheating us or anything, but
Yeah, making you want the next best.
making you want the next best. And the thing
Or
is,
the next, just the next, doesn't have to be next best.
thank you for going exactly there, because that's where I was trying to get to, is that a lot of this is that one person loves the grants for his axe. One
Hmm.
person, the guy right next to him, is in love with Council Tool,
Hmm.
which, by the way, I also think is a great brand, right? Personal
Hmm.
comes into play. So does the person who loves grants furs really need to buy a Council Tool as well? No. If he's perfectly
No,
happy with the axe he has, why buy another one, right?
I get a lot of satisfaction about like try, I'm not perfect at all, but I do get a lot of satisfaction of having something and like using it, and like I actually like even sometimes this second axe like I regret buying it just because like I still could be using this original one and I use it less. But like I get satisfaction of like having something for a decade or two and like just using
Mm,
it,
me
abusing
too.
it, repairing it, and but like I fall into the trap of like buying the coolest thing too.
So the reason that grants, how am I going to get this? The reason the grants furs is the one that's on the wall there
Hmm.
is because that's my number one. That's my number one, no matter what. I've had it for when I bought that axe. Now I got to go and get it again. Sorry to bore everyone. I've been at my current day job for 8 years. Before that, I spent 2 years floundering. Before that, I worked in marketing. And then before that, I worked in publishing. So I've had this axe 2013, 2014. Okay.
Yeah.
The helve is much darker than it used to be because I've been oiling it and using it and using it and oiling it.
I love that.
Right. This I'm not going to take the mask off because I've had a couple of drinks and I am religious about once you've had a couple of drinks, the sharps stay away.
Yeah.
But I've had to completely um, sharpen the entire edge because at one point I was whacking away at wood and I lost my balance and buried the head in the dirt. So of course, a big chunk got taken out because of course this axe has been through the ringer with me.
Hmm.
It's very familiar to me, right? I know exactly how it feels. I know exactly where to just grab if I want to do splitting, even though you know as well as I do, this is not an ideal splitter, but you can do it if you hold in the right area.
Sure.
I know
For small day campfires and whatever, it's fine.
absolutely. I know where to
Don't
grab it if I
split.
want to get a lot of like chopping. I know this axe.
Hmm.
I know this axe, right? And I love how beat up it is because every little ding and every shade of this, it's all part of the story of the axe.
Hmm.
All of it, right? I mean, this look at there. Look at that, right? Look at that right there. All that little damage, all part of the story of the axe. So I agree with you. I love the fact that you've got some great tools and they look well loved. That's the way the tools should be.
At some point, you just got to get to the point. Like I haven't bought a Grand Swords axe since I bought this
Mhm.
Raymir's one in like 2016, and like I really don't think I'll ever buy another one. I have a hatchet, I
Mhm.
have the small forest axe, I have two in this size, and I have that splitting maul, which honestly I probably should just sell. But I just feel like I got it for so cheap that like I might regret that one day. And then I do not have a felling axe from Granspurs. I do not need one. I have the only axe like I refurbished tons of axes. You remember. The only one I ever kept is I have a felling axe, a Collins axe from like 1925. And it's just like but I've never used it because I don't use axes that big. I don't need it.
Yeah, me neither.
So like I just you got
But
at some point you like you get to the point where it's like this is a tool, not an object of lust. And like I've gotten over that for the axes. And like I have all that I need, and I have not even been tempted by any other axe in literally since I got the Ramirez one.
I don't see why you would.
Yeah.
Like even me, like yeah, I want that hunting axe, but is there any reason for it now? Like I haven't been hunting in years. We lost our terrain, our what's that terrain, our land,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't touched my boomsticks in 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need the hunting axe? No, I just want it because I've always wanted it. There's no logic to it. So I'm probably
It
not
doesn't
gonna buy
need to be either, right? It doesn't need to be.
it. Oh, fair enough.
Sometimes you just want something because it's cool, and that's okay too.
I have established that when I have tools, whether that's fountain pens or axes or knives that give me the fizz, my skills get better because holding them and practicing with them is more exciting to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why, like, yeah, I've restored a bunch of axes, but I grab my grands first because they give me the fizz. There's just
Yeah, and that's
something about.
why I don't have any of the other ones. My brother has like 3 or 4 axes that I restored. He has more than I do. Um,
Yeah,
but just because like the Grand Swords is like it's the best, arguably. It's gonna work.
yeah.
Just a
I mean, I have
bomb-proof
a council tool
solution.
that's fabulous, by the way, but
Yeah, I've never had one.
it's
Because
the
they
only one.
started making cool axes after I was already set. I was already set with all of these, so like I never even was tempted. Like they have a Hudson Bay one, which
They do.
but like I had a few. I can't remember the damn name of them now. New Orleans, and
Hmm.
like I had issues with those staying on, and like they were cool, but I got them cheap, refurbished them, and I sold them for like a good amount of money. So
So, council tool made a double that I would dearly love.
a double bit.
Yeah, it was part of their what's that line they have?
Velvet cut.
Yeah, I think it was a velvet cut.
It's like their top of the line.
Yeah, they had a velvet cut double, like a blazing axe, right? Hatchet size, not a full size.
Saddle cruiser. Is that
Yeah,
what the
yeah.
word? Yeah.
That I would love, but big money. I have an Orland double that I would gladly trade in for one of those for sure.
Mm-hmm. Like a
Even
smaller.
though, oh, you've got an Orland, yeah, and it's cool to have an Orland, but it's just there's something about that council tool that really gets me. Um, but yeah, I don't see myself spending a lot of money on axes in the near future.
Yeah, I
I
hope
just
I
don't.
never have to spend another penny.
Judging by what you got, you don't. I mean, look, I don't
No.
either. I don't either. I don't. Although knowing what you spent on that mall, if you do decide to sell it,
Oh, there you go. You can have first dibs. But like,
um,
it's not like sometimes you just got to put it into perspective. Is $200 a lot for an axe? Yeah, sure. If you treat it properly, you'll have it the rest of your life.
yeah,
You cannot say that about a lot of things.
true.
It's not like it's $1,000 or 10, or it's not like you're going out for a night like gambling and you could lose $200 real quick and have
Yeah,
a whiff of an experience instead of having that. So like, I thought that they were a lot more than like mid 200s is still a lot of money, but like if someone was like, I need one axe, I need it for this canoe trip, or like, it's like I'd still recommend it at like 250. I think you bite the bullet and
so
like is Council Tool that much cheaper or no?
that depends. Well, here's the thing. If I click on, oh, okay, I was gonna check Canadian Outdoor Equipment Company, but they don't sell them anymore. I think I
Oh,
may,
really?
I think I may know why. As someone who can no longer buy bourbon, I think I know why they might not have those. But like
Oh,
they've got Esker, right?
yeah, those
Something
are
like
new.
that.
Those look kind of interesting.
but their Camp Axe is $275.
Oh yeah, and those are made in Canada, I believe, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
Eskers are Canadian.
I don't know
So
who
I
makes
mean,
them, but
I feel that maybe it's just what they cost now. And the reason we have a problem with it is because we remember buying these things at like 120,
half.
$130.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
And at the time, if you told someone that you spent $130 on an axe that wasn't into it, they'd be like, "Yeah, what are you doing?"
Yeah. So maybe I just have to like the dollar is worth a different amount than it used to be, kind of thing, as well as oh, Marcel just shared your Instagram, which is nice. Thank you, Marcel. I
Thank
also
you very
have it
much.
in the description below the doobly doo. But yeah, so I mean, I'm looking at these Eskers. That's not a brand that has a whole lot of like. Gransfors is a desirable brand, right?
Yes,
It's a
worldwide.
fashion statement almost as much as worldwide, absolutely. And Esker, I don't know anyone with an Esker, and yet they're
What did they do before they did the hot tents? Like, were they a brand still? Like, I don't remember them being
no
anything,
idea. Bucksaws,
right?
bucksaws, tents, stoves, and now axes,
Yeah,
right?
the stoves are made in the U.S. by Nyko, which is a good thing actually.
Right.
But those tents are okay, but the single pole and having to put all those guy wires out. Nate Muskoka has one, and I saw him setting it up when we were at a group meetup the one time, and he was just by
Busy.
himself, swearing and
Oh yeah.
struggling. And
Okay.
like the A-frame is just like two guys can have the tent up in like 5 minutes. Takes a little bit longer to like tack out the sides and stuff because you got to
Hmm.
do snow anchors and whatever. But yeah, if like a sudden squall comes in, if the tent's accessible, you can have it up in very little time.
Okay. Hey, that's good to know because I sort of identified. I'm sorry for yawning. I had identified the Esker Classic 2 10 by 10 as the one I was going to buy. $1,600, I think.
Hmm.
It seems to be like within the range of something I can spend, but I think the snow trackers are a lot more, aren't they? Like a 10 by 10?
Uh, was it 1600 including the stove?
No.
Yeah, we paid 6 7 years ago for ours. We paid 2,500 including the stove, shipping and duties.
So that actually ends up not being more. Okay,
It's
10 years ago
not.
now.
Yeah, I bet you a snow checker is like probably 2 grand without the
Mm,
stove and stuff. So like it's not. That's what I'm saying is like I don't think Eska is a bad brand. I just know that Snow Tracker is the best.
mhm. Homie, by the way, says he picked his first shelter, but he hasn't bought it yet. What is that? What's it going to be? Oh, and he says Casterman axes. I don't know a thing about Casterman axes.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, he says the Amok, Hammock, and Tarp. So I have a Amok, no, Amok. Um, that looks like when something runs amok, right?
Yeah.
Um, I have a Hennessy hammock and tarp.
Hmm.
I, f- I feel like I need something under it, like an underquilt or something.
Yeah, unless it's summertime, you will. I've never done the quilt thing. I spent too much money on ground sleeping summer
Right.
setup.
Um, I bought mine 10 years before I used it for the first time. I used it the weekend between September, October, which is the most beautiful weekend in the forest. Let me tell you.
Hmm.
Uh, I had I bought their little stupid little reflective pad for underneath, and I was like, no, no, got to get something else.
Cold butt.
Sorry,
Cold butt.
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I have since bought an inflatable, right? The Thermarest, but I don't know. I might need like an underquilt or something,
Yeah, I would think so.
just to warm it up more. You know, I thought I was going to. So the week before I went on, 2 weeks, 1 week, two and a half, one. Let's just round whatever. Before I went on that trip, um, I got thrown on my back while moving a stove out of a dead man's apartment and really wrenched it bad and went to the hospital. And they said, the good news is it's not your spine, it's just muscular. The bad news is it's going to hurt for a while. So I was like, I'm supposed to sleep in a hammock, but I still went. Because I wasn't rethinking what I was packing. I was taking a via rail to somewhere, and then but like I'm not throwing everything in the back of an F-150 here, right? I'm taking the train.
Mhm.
So I was like, it's the hammock, and I was surprised at how comfy it was. Like I wasn't sleeping like a banana. It actually kept me fairly straight because it's an asymmetrical, so you sort of sleep
Right.
like diagonal, so you
Yeah.
stay fairly straight. So I'm happy to say that I enjoyed my trip. Made I think 3 episodes for my YouTube channel. Didn't suffer more than one would think. I was perfectly happy with it. But yeah, homie, I don't remember what climate you're in. I know you're in the States, but I don't quite remember where. We don't have to discuss it. But if you're anywhere that gets kind of cold, think of is it called an under quilt?
Yep.
Or like a sleeping pad of some sort, something to keep you nice and warm. We have gone to 11:33, which I've just noticed.
Blown by.
So we can shut her down right the hell now. Unless, is there anything you want to say to the peeps about winter camping before we shut her down?
I think we've covered most of it. I think it's like a lot of things. It seems scary, but the scary is in like the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
So like watch YouTube videos and ask people who know. Go with someone and have a bailout plan. Start
Mm-hmm.
with your backyard. If you're cold, you can run in your house. Start camping somewhere where your car is there. You can jump in the car and go to a hotel or sleep in the car, and then just
Yeah,
go with people who know what they're doing. It doesn't have to be scary. It's just more difficult and there's more unknowns. Like the peace and quiet and tranquility and like it's just maxed out for me in the winter. I still probably prefer summer canoe trips, but like the winter is just like such a different beast that it's
it's so
great.
much quieter, eh?
It's just wildly
Yeah.
quiet.
Yeah. Homie Omi says it has a winter sleep mat with. Okay, so that should be good. So in that case, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start taking a list. I cannot buy anything in 2026. I have established that this is my year of buying nothing. But I'm going to start putting a list together. I've taken note of some of the things you've said here, about like the wool pants and the Baff and Yohos and stuff. Whatever winter boots I buy next. Right now, I've got a pair of Columbia Bugaboos or some stupid name, but they're great boots, but they're getting a little long in the tooth. Whatever I buy has to fit nicely with my GV snowshoes, and I've noticed that not everything fits in the toe, the strappy things.
Yeah. The bigger
So
ones struggle.
yeah, so that's the thing. I always have to be careful. That's why I just keep buying the same damn Bugaboos every couple of
Mhm.
years, right? Because I know that they fit. But they are a little clunky. So I'll look at those Baffins. So yeah, anyways, thanks for coming on to talk with us. For everyone else, we're going to shut this thing down since we are redonkulously late, and many people will probably have wrapping and maybe last minute shopping to do tomorrow. So I would like to wish everyone a happy Christmas. And I will probably see you next week. Between now and next week, everybody, as I always say, be safe, be sane, be healthy, and be kind to one another. You going to say bye there, Mike?
See you guys. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, everyone. Good night.